Ankeny High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is the state's premier source for high school sports streaming.
Throws a big home run down the middle. He's got Brecht at midfield. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Ankeny Hawks.
Ankeny High School football is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, Central Bank, and Mid-American Energy. Now let's go to our CISN.TV crew for Ankeny High School football.
A pleasant good evening to you as the sun is now completely behind the horizon. We're not staring into the sun, and the players are looking for an extra layer as we get ready for Week 9 of the regular season. Hello, everybody. Paul Yeager along with Tim Halber. Nate Goner will be with us in a little bit later tonight. This is a game for the Ankeny Hawks. Win, and they're in. The same can be said for the 6-2 Scarlet East, or the Sioux City East Black Raiders. So, Tim, we'll start with Sioux City. This is a team that they have a very good season. But they've had to make a change when it comes to the quarterback. It's now a running back, and it's now pretty much a full-on run team.
It is. He's a leading rusher. No surprise there as a quarterback. And usually it's hard when you're getting those sacks that come off your passing stats, but they come off your rushing stats. But he goes as they go as he goes. And so it'll be a challenge for the defense today to kind of contain that quarterback, keep him in there, and then because it's a very good front seven of the Ankeny Hawk defense. So we'll see who wins out tonight.
Speaking of 7, that's the number of Sioux City East players that play both sides of the football. This is a game of attrition, and that's where they are at. Their quarterback is also their third leading tackler, and so that is something. Very good athletes, but when you get to the third and fourth quarter when the game's on the line, that's when it can show.
Yeah, and you always go for that health because I don't know where's the number 2 after that. You lose a defensive back and you lose a quarterback. So you're saying there 7 players going to be playing both ways. It's going to see how they rotate the players in, the running backs. You can rotate some of the defensive backs in. But if Ankeny starts putting in longer drives, the players have to stay out there a long time. That's going to start showing up in that second half, and then that's where the big plays happen.
The Black Raiders have lost to Sergeant Bluff-Luton and Dowling Catholic. The same can be said about the Ankeny Hawks. They, too, lost to Dowling Catholic. The Hawks are coming off 3 straight wins where they really were not much of a contest. This is a little more of a game tonight, Tim, as they get ready for that final step. They really think even if they might lose, they would still be in the playoffs, but you really want to control your own destiny.
Hey, Coach Nelson said that these guys know what's ahead of them. They know that the playoffs are out there, but tonight it's senior night. I think as any coach would say, all those juniors and sophomores, you look across the locker with those seniors like you're playing tonight for that last home game because this may be the last time they play on this turf. So I think they know what's ahead of them. They don't want to lose that momentum, especially going into the playoffs. If they win, they're going to get ranked high. If they're losing, they might make it, but they're going to get a really bad ranking.
25 seniors will be introduced. It started the year 25. They lost 2. They got 2 back. So 25 will play in their final game, but we've been having introductions of all these different seniors. We've seen band, now we're seeing cross country, we'll see football, but really it's the junior class of Ankeny that's going to have to come to play tonight, and it starts with Jace Bauer to Brody Brecht and the sophomore Colin Kadoff.
Yeah, and looking at that team, there's a lot of notable juniors out there. They got some good seniors, Belding's in there. They got some defensive linemen that do well. Toatia's coming there, middle linebacker. But that junior class has a lot of skilled players. They've been playing all year and playing together. This may be a team to watch out for next year.
But let's focus on this year instead, and we'll play. We can talk about that all the time, but we'll talk about this one tonight here. We'll have both head coaches. We'll talk to Brian Webb and Rick Nelson, and then we'll check in on the field conditions, which it is a beautiful night for football. You're going to hear those pads cracking. The stands are starting to fill up. Glad you've made us a part of your Friday night, so our pregame show rolls on. The coaches talk. The coach talk, coach speak, something like that. One of those things are coming up next.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Hey, welcome back, Dan, Coach. How you doing? Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. Here you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
High quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
9 weeks goes pretty fast, Coach. I know we talked about it earlier this week. The perspective that you tried to get across to these guys, that there's only a limited number. How do you impress upon them that this is a special time in their lives? Senior night, last game of the regular season. How do you kind of get them in that mindset of this is a pretty special thing?
I think most of the kids realize it. There's 10% of the kids on your team that you can never reach. So, but I think 90% of our kids understand that this is their last game, and for the seniors, and that if we win, we're going to get to play more games. So I think the 90% of the kids, if we just deal with them, things are going to be just fine.
Looking at some statistics, this team, as the year has gone on, has compiled some pretty good offensive statistics. You said that's probably what your hallmark of your team is. How have you been able to establish a good offense this year?
Well, the talent that we've played our last 3 games has been not near the talent that we played in the first 5 games. So that has a lot to do with it. But our kids are playing with more confidence. When you put up a lot of numbers, I think that helps kids' confidence. And our defense has done really well. Really, they haven't been scored on a bunch. Maybe when we put the 2s in, Roosevelt scored. Dowling was really the last team that put some points up on the board on our defense. So I just look for our kids to go out and play hard, and I don't know that we're going to play mistake-free, but we need to make sure we hang on to the football, and it should be a nice night. I don't think the wind's going to blow like 40 miles an hour like it has been, but so I just think if we'll hang on to the football and tackle, I think it should be a good night for our kids.
You have a opposition whose running back is now their quarterback, and he plays like a running back still. He's kind of tough to bring down. What is it? What do you see that's tough for him?
He's kind of like the Hoover quarterback and the Lincoln quarterback. He's quick. So our kids need to make sure that they, break down. They can't go in real long stride to try to tackle the kid. I don't know how fast he is, but he looks like he runs away from people. So he's probably one of their better athletes, it looks like to me. I think he was a receiver last year. He also plays outside linebacker. I think he's fourth leading tackler on their team. So he's on the field a bunch, and we just need to make sure we can contain him and not let him get big plays on us.
And sustained drives. Every coach loves to get their team off, and it's not always 3 and out, but not let somebody eat up a bunch of clock over 12 plays or something like that. Do you do that by what you just talked about, good tackling?
Yeah, I mean, scheme-wise, sometimes you can have a call that probably is not the greatest call versus that defense or that offensive front or formation, but most of the time it's just fundamentals. We make it more difficult probably than it needs to be. On defense, it's being in the right gap and getting off a block and making tackles. And on offense, it's being on the right people and finishing blocks. So it's not a complicated game, but yet it is because of the multiple formations and different defenses. And so it does have its kids have to be pretty sharp to play football, but it still comes down to fundamentals.
Offensively, you kind of mentioned being able to click. You've been trying to get that run game going. Do you feel like you're at that point where you feel comfortable with it?
Yeah, we haven't really run our quarterback a bunch. Bauer, we'll probably run him some tonight. It makes it harder on the defense, and that's why I think Sioux City East is hard, just because their quarterback runs so much. So, there's probably half the teams we've played this year, their quarterback is a part of their run game. So, we're going to get Bauer involved in the run game a little bit, and Kickoff's getting better and better, and I think Falk, our tight end, is really blocking well, and we'll have Hilsenbeck at fullback, and then we have another tight end, Simonson. So those kids will be on the field just because this is an odd front again, and they bring their backers so much. So we'll probably be, at least for sure, have one tight end in the game at all time.
Have fun tonight.
All right, going to try.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
That's Coach Rick Nelson. We're back with more on the pregame show here in a moment on CISN.TV.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Sure. Back here on the pregame show, Paul Yeager with Coach Brian Webb. Coach, district opportunity, win and you're in. What's the motto to the guys tonight? Are you thinking that, or what are you telling them?
Well, I mean, we go into every game trying to win it. So, like I said, win or lose, all the variables of teams that play each other, and if they win and they lose, if we're in. And so those are things we can't control. I just got to focus on this opponent, which is a really good football team.
You said you looked at them and you thought size, and that's kind of what you see as the key thing you got to watch?
Yeah, that and just numbers, just attrition, and I think that's the big plus for Des Moines suburb schools that just have so many kids on their roster, and they can just wear you down where they have more one-way players and we have more two-way players, and so our kids are talented. We just, like I mentioned before, offensively we can have 3 and outs and punt the ball and give them a short field, and defensively we have to stop the run. I know that's just kind of what I've sensed the swagger of their team this year is they want to run the ball, and I know they have excellent wide receivers too, so you just can't stop it all. We have to commit to stopping something, and that's kind of been our philosophy all week.
And make them beat something else. So if it's run that you're picking, or if it's pass, or if you find out in the game, then you got to make the adjustment, and that's part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't stop the run like we found out versus Dowling, it's 61-7 pretty quickly. So, and Dowling's tailback's pretty talented, and he really ate us up. But, you just can't stop it all. And at this point, I think in week 9, I don't think there's any really bells and whistles. Everybody has their own identity, and they just, it's just mastering your craft. You're just doing what you do and try and do it to the highest level that you can.
Your quarterback was receiver, but he's taken snaps at quarterback before. It wasn't that big of an adjustment for him because he's running the ball a lot. What's he bring to your offense?
Well, he's a running quarterback, and you can see he makes big plays. And the nice thing about Cage is he's just an ultimate competitor. And like I told our news station last week is, if you were to 5 minutes before the game say, "Hey, Cage, who are you playing?" Cage would say, "I don't know and I don't care." I mean, that's just who he is. And he had a great game against Dowling, and he just doesn't care. That's just his personality. He's just a competitor, and when the lights come on, he just wants to win.
Rest of your offense, what's key for you?
Well, I think just like I mentioned, third downs I think is critical. And getting first downs, maintaining possession of the ball, not turning the ball over I think is critical. I believe we've only had two turnovers all year, which has been impressive for our team. And so we have some weapons at the tailback, and I think it starts up front. We have to be able to block their D-line, and their linebackers move really well. I think last year against Ankeny we really struggled with that. I think we're much improved in some of those areas, and so we just have to do it. Just have to execute at this stage of the game.
All right, have fun tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Beautiful night.
You bet. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, that's Coach Brian Webb. More of the pregame show right after this. You're watching CISN.TV.
It takes more than a great price and great selection to continue to grow every year. We believe the reason is our core values. Hard work, we work hard for you. Integrity, it's not optional, it's required. We build trusting relationships and don't run when the problems arise. We're always improving the customer experience. It's been the Schottenkirk way for over 50 years. Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Waukee, and the all-new Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Back at Ankeny Stadium, Paul Yeager, Tim Halbert. As we get you ready on CISN.TV, it is Sioux City East and the Ankeny Hawks. We are a few minutes away from kickoff. We'll have the national anthem a little bit, but let's get you in a little bit more of what is going on tonight in other locations. Hoover is at Lincoln. Dowling is at Sioux City North. Those are the other games in the first district. In District 2 last night, Centennial beat Sioux City West. Also in District 2, Marshalltown at Fort Dodge. Southeast Polk is at Roosevelt. In District 3, Dubuque Senior is at Cedar Rapids Jefferson. Prairie is at Cedar Falls. That's a big game. Waterloo West is at Hempstead. In the 4th district, it's Davenport North. On the road tonight, Iowa City West and City High, and then Pleasant Valley and Linmar doing battle. And then in District 5, it's Cedar Rapids, Washington. Davenport West Central is at Bettendorf. That's central of Davenport. Now let's pause for our national anthem. National anthem under the direction of Joel Poppin and the Ankeny High School Marching Band, which we'll get to see their show one more time tonight as they will be performing at halftime. And we'll be talking to Aaron Klingensmith, the girls cross-country coach, here a little bit later tonight. Let's finish off the rest of those games. In District 6, it is Des Moines East at Indianola, Ottumwa at Mason City, and Waukee is at Johnston. In District 7, Ames is at Urbandale. Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln is playing their crosstown rival Thomas Jefferson tonight. And also in District 7, North is at Valley, and that's the other game you can see on CISN.TV tonight on our YouTube channel. Tim, you heard all those games. Which ones do you want to keep an eye on here as the night goes on?
I think we have a couple of interesting ones. Waukee at Johnston, that's a 12 ranked versus 17 ranked. That's definitely a play-in game that we could see. The winner there would probably make the playoffs. Coming in here, interesting game. Cedar Falls, ranked number 2, plays Cedar Rapids Prairie. The winner there, you mentioned earlier, if Cedar Rapids Prairie wins, that's just going to mess up that whole side of the district there.
Mess up the entire state and all the playoffs, I would think. That would, right now, Valley is number 1 in the RPI, Cedar Falls 2, Centennial 3, Dowling 4, Kennedy 5. So you would assume everybody moves up 1 there, which would put the Jaguars from Centennial in a 2-seed spot, which means they wouldn't have to, depending on how things all work out, and we'll have those pairings sometime, I would guess around midnight tonight once they get everything done. I'm pretty sure they have a good idea about how everything goes, but that's a very big game, Prairie at Cedar Falls in the Dome.
And also Southeast Polk at Roosevelt. We've seen Roosevelt as a much-improved team this year. It's at Roosevelt. That's one there where someone can move up. A win here, we talked about, Ankeny High. If they win tonight and one of those top teams gets knocked out, they may move up and find a much better seeding they would get right now than as a 10 seed.
Well, Sioux City East is a 14 in the Iowa High School Athletic Association RPI. Ankeny is a 10. So if Roosevelt loses, you would imagine they would drop, possibly switch places with Ankeny, which would still would then put and maybe you just move Linmar up 1 and Ankeny goes up 1, which would mean them to be an 8-9 game. So Polk tonight, home game. They could have a home game, which they did not have last year, but it didn't seem to matter to them. They still won on the road in their playoff game. But Valley shouldn't have any trouble with North tonight. Cedar Falls, like we said, a big game. Centennial's early won. Dowling shouldn't have any trouble at Sioux City tonight. Kennedy, that game is Yeah, I lost can't even read my hieroglyphics here. They have, all of these games matter. In fact, I think Kennedy played last night. That's why they're not on my sheet. So the game that I'm watching is Roosevelt at Southeast Polk. I think that one is, you kind of talked about it a little bit there. That's one to kind of watch.
Yeah, Kennedy last night, they beat Bettendorf. Looks like it was a 55-0. Yeah, there's a lot of leapfrogging that can happen when you take, strength of schedule, you take your wins, your opponent's wins. This is the second year of the RPI. It seems to take some of this district first place, but then the wild cards, everybody kind of move around. So you could drop 2 spots, you could move up 2 spots. So there's a lot of playing games tonight. So we keep the scores as we can get them tonight, throughout the game. And keep everybody informed.
If you believe the BC Moore computer, that puts Ankeny in the 8th spot, and Sioux City East is not even ranked in theirs. So just something to watch. All right, we're going to take a quick break. It looks like the Hawks have broken their way out of the locker room. We'll take a quick 2-minute break, then we'll check in with Nate Goddard down on the sidelines to get you ready for football. It is Sioux City East at Ankeny in just a moment.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
The Ankeny Hawks are nesting up inside their tunnel as they make their way across the street from Northview Middle School here to Ankeny Stadium. The coaches are making their way around the outside. We've had all the senior night festivities. We've had cross-country parents introduced. We've had band parents, dance team, cheerleading staff, and now it's time for what we're all here to do, and that's play some high school football. And the Ankeny Hawks are about to take the field here. They are in their home maroon tops, white pants. They're not going with victory gold tonight on any of their looks. So. As the introduction plays, the Hawks in their last 3 this season, they have won 98-73. That averages out to a 37-9 margin of victory as the year's gone on. So they've won their last 3 games by a combination of 63-0, 42-0, and 90-7. Let's find out what it's going to take for keys to the game. And Tim Halbert.
For me, looking at Sioux City East, for one, if they can maintain drives, they can get, not have a 3-and-out, because if they start punting in the shadow of their own end zone and give them a short field, 50-yard line closer, it's going to be a long game for them. For Ankeny High, one thing they should do, the defense, we talk about, can they handle a running quarterback? We're looking at a quarterback that can run, he can pass, he's very athletic. And then the other one is, at the end, it's Ankeny, play the game tonight, don't look forward to the playoffs, have a great home game here with the seniors, and go out with a bang.
As the Hawks make their way onto the field, let's go down to our third member of the broadcast team. Nate Goddard down on the sidelines again tonight for us as the Flags make their way to Nate. Look out, Nate. Don't get run over by that. What's going on down there tonight?
Oh, not too much. I got to say, Paul, I was a little worried about the weather coming in. It is quite comfortable for the last day of the regular season. Right now, 46 degrees under mostly clear skies. We've got a south wind at 4 miles an hour, so I don't see weather affecting this game. This is the final tune-up before the playoffs. Ankeny looks, pretty good heading in to their final game of the season. Not sure too much about Sioux City North, but we'll find out here in moments if either is ready to take that next step next week into the playoffs.
Thank you, Nate. Sioux City East, the Black Raiders are 6-2, 3-1 in the district. They won their last game against Lincoln last week by a score of 38-7. They lost to Dowling in Week 7, 61-7. And if you combine all the wins and losses and point totals, 253 to 156, that's a 32-20 advantage for Sioux City East, Tim. And they lost to Sergeant Bluff Luton, a very good team that's out of Class 4A, and Dowling Catholic, your 6-time defending state champion. So 2, if you want to call them, good losses.
Yeah, they've had a tough schedule, and they did what they're supposed to do. They lost to the teams that are definitely favored, but they cleaned up the rest of their schedule to come in here at 6-2. So they are a formidable player. I would not sleep on them. They're going to control. They're going to commit with a lot of enthusiasm because they're playing for their playoff life. Because if they lose, they might be on that bubble and may not make it in. So a win for them is a must.
All right, we are just we've had our ceremonial coin toss is what's going on there. Tonight, it's Jace Bauer at quarterback. That returning starter has played in every game this year. Look for him to possibly run the football just a little bit more, Tim. They're going to need him on all facets as they move forward. If East wins the toss, and they'll defer and take the ball in the second half, and the Hawks will have it on kickoff. As, can't believe I forgot to open up the windows. We got to make sure everything is
nice.
It is nice. Yeah. Balmy, short sleeve weather. Nate's going, what do you mean short sleeve weather? All right, you talked about the keys to the game, Tim. This is one. It's pretty simple. Win, and you're in.
Or win and you get better.
Win and get better. Tonight, Cage Kellen, the quarterback for Sioux City, started the year at wide receiver. Casey Blake, their starting quarterback, got hurt with mono, or was out with mono. They won't have him back the rest of the season. Cage runs the football well, 62 carries, 536, 7 touchdowns, best runner on their team.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns for a quarterback. He's their bell cow. He's going to go in there, which means that when they get close to the goal line, they get inside the red zone. I expect to see him carry the ball a lot more than going for that touchdown.
Emmanuel Moreno, the sophomore, will tee it up. The Hawks will send back Jordan Comm and Brody Brecht. Sioux City East in their all-white uniforms, black numbers trimmed in orange, the black helmets. Their head coach is Brian Webb, assisted by Nick Taylor. The Hawks are head coached by Rick Nelson with his 2 coordinators, Nick Nelson and Adam Booth. Moreno's kick is in the air, and we are underway from Ankeny Stadium. It's going to take comeback inside the 5. He finds a seam, and he's tripped up right about the 25-yard line. On the tackle is Tajon Jones. We'll say Jones' name a lot, and you're going to say his name for a number of years as he is just a sophomore. So here come the Hawks. And Jace Bauer at quarterback, Colin Kadoff at running back, Brock Chido the fullback, Weston Folk, who we will likely see more of tonight, as you heard in the pregame, Brody Brecht and Jordan Comp. Up front, Jacob Byer, Logan Brown, Cade Thompson, Antonio Espino, and Sam Belding.
Yeah, see if they want to come out with a run play here. Power side to the left side of the formation.
Come in motion, play action, Bauer tucks it, gets to the outside, stiff arm. He's got some room, 40, first down. He's into Black Raider territory all the way up to the 49-yard line on the Sioux City East time before Bennett Vanderloo makes the tackle.
Great day, straight fake into the center of the line, took it outside. It was a run play all the way. He found that bounced outside, probably adjusting the speed of the defense. Probably like, this quarterback's faster than we thought he was.
24-yard gain for the quick Bauer. He'll take that deceptive speed. Look, Bauer takes the offense. 1st and 10 at the 49. Common motion, fake. Bauer left side, and then he is just manhandled. Colby Harrington, the nose tackle, 6'2", 220-pound senior. The rest of the defense for Sioux City East, Patrick Conley, Stephen Husher up front. The linebackers, Dylan Harper, Ethan Brayfogle, Blake Hogenkamp, and Cage Kellen. And then you've got Cass Kammerig, Caleb Winter, Bennett Vanderloo, and Gabe Wagner, the rest of your starters for Sioux City East. Second down, gain of 1. Kadoff. Left tackle cuts back, puts his shoulder down, takes the scrum with him up to the 40. Leading it for Sioux City East is Patrick Conley, the senior, and also Blake Hogenkamp.
A good blocking up there by Thompson. Also, in Carter Smith opening up that line, creating a nice cutback lane for Kadoff.
3rd and 1, gain of 8 on that play. Kadoff gets the first down and then took a couple of Black Raiders with him. Hogenkamp and also Kammerig.
Hogenkamp. 38-yard line.
And Hogenkamp, as I'm reading, he is a freshman linebacker, 6'2", 218-pound linebacker, really good athlete, freshman playing on the varsity.
1st and 10 for the Hawks at the 38. First pass of the game. Slant thrown to come. Caught. Still on his feet. He's got the first down. Still pushing the pile, and he can't quite break free.
Pass complete to number 14, Jordan Cum.
Vanderloo and Kadon Jones.
Look like one of those rugby scrums you see on TV, waiting for the forwards to come in. But they kind of run this cover 4 shell, so there's going to be some openings there between the two safeties. Kind of playing a cover 2, the corners playing back, keeping things in front of them.
Gain of 15. The Hawks offense looking meticulous at this point. Ball at the 23. Pass again. Brecht on the out. Come back, gets it. Gets near the first down. Tries to throw off Gabe Wagner. Hogenkamp is there. He's near the sticks when he landed, but he first went out of bounds after a gain of 7.
16-yard line.
Wagner giving up a little bit there, a quick little out. Could be open most of the night. Giving him the cushion, not wanting him to get beat with the speed that Brecht has on the outside. Didn't want him to go down the sideline.
Under 10 to play. First quarter. 2 guys go in motion. They'll have to get set before the snap. Summers calms down. Kadoff. Left side, huge hole. He's got a cutback lane. He's inside the 5, and he's in the end zone for a 16-yard touchdown. The Hawks strike first.
Nice block by Logan Brown on the inside there as a guard pulled up and just sealed the hole inside, created that hole. Kadoff can bounce it to the outside. There's a good blocking out there by the interior line. That hole was there. Nice job, nice drive.
It started with 2 runs by Jace Bauer and ended with a Colin Kadoff 16-yard touchdown. The extra point is up and good by Max Pelham. 7-0 Hawks here at Ankeny Stadium.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Ankeny Hawks make it look easy on their first drive. After a great return, they go in 7 plays and score on a 16-yard touchdown run. And now the Hawks will kick it off. It was a 7-play, 73-yard drop. Kadoff, the finisher. Great return by
Number 2,
Jones. Oh, sorry, that's Jones. Tajon. Let's go down to Nate Goner down on the sideline, Nate.
Paul, I got to tell you, I was impressed like you guys with the deceptive speed of Jace Bauer. We've seen his arm on display a lot. I have not seen his legs, and he really got to the corner in a hurry. Credit the offensive line throughout that drive. There were running lanes for him and Kickoff all throughout that drive. I'll be interested to see if that continues.
7 plays, 73 yards, ends in a touchdown. 7-0 Ankeny early on. First look at the Black Raider offense. Kellen, hard snap, gives it to a running back. First, instead of keeping it, this time it's Dylan Harper. The Black Raiders, Tim, will go with 3 different running backs tonight. Harper, Peterson, and also Tajon Jones. So we see Harper first for Coach Webb. Gain of 5 on the play.
No misdirection there. That's a straight up, testing the interior of the line, kind of get your blocking assignments done, trying to find your gaps, and then they'll look to bounce something to the outside.
Motion going either way. Fake to Harper. Throw behind the receiver. Intended.
Number 3, Gabe Wagner falls incomplete.
Gabe Wagner was in the neighborhood.
Number 42, Mo Watson.
Watson on coverage.
45.
And like most nights, we call Watson's name quite a bit. He's a very active linebacker out there in a Sam position.
Black Raiders get the call from the sideline. Check the wrist for the play. Harper stopped. One-arm tackle. Carter McMullen.
Ball carrier number 32, Dylan Harper. Man assault number 97, Carter McMullen.
Yeah, good job getting off his block in there. That hole was there for a while. He sealed it up quickly, got in on the tackle there, and basically given a 3 and out. But Sioux City got up to the 40-yard line, not in their shadows of their goal post, so a good punt here and a stop will at least give them Ankeny a longer field.
One of the things Coach Webb talked about both this week and in the pregame was we've got to not do 3 and outs, and that punt is aimed off left side. Caleb Winter, no return available there for Cade Summers. And so the Hawks will bring the offense back out, Nate Goner. Boy, that didn't take long for that defense to get off the field.
Not at all, Paul. And one thing I was want to mention on that side of the football, Ankeny's done a really good job of turning over teams. In the last 3 games, 13 total turnovers. A 3 and out, you can consider that a turnover, especially this early in the game. But it'd be nice to see the Hawks get, a fumble or an interception at some point tonight to help things.
Bauer sends common motion, or Summers. He's not there on the first route. They go deep. He's got a pair of receivers down the left sideline. Caught! You guessed it, Brody Brecht was there. Gabe Wagner, the tackle. They were looking on that play, Tim. They went Jordan come in motion. Bauer looked at him twice. I don't know if that's the called play, but it is a huge pickup of 45 yards for the Hawks.
Looks like kind of gave it a pump fake, went back there. Great blocking by the line because Bauer had all the time in the world. Put that thing in his, what do they call it, dropping it in the bucket. He just dropped it over his shoulder catch. Perfect throw and catch.
Kickoff back underneath. Gets a couple on the push. Stephen Husher. I'll tell you, Brecht's catch caught him right in stride, and that's something we didn't see earlier. You're going to say, what if, Tim? What if the Hawks are able to connect with Brecht like that earlier in a couple of those losses? Like that might be a totally different season.
Yeah, it's taken a season to get together. This is Bauer's. It's the second full year of starting, and he's really gotten comfortable in the position.
Draw. Bauer thrown forward by Stephen Husher. Clock moving, approaching 7:30.
Brought down by number 60, Stephen Husher.
As they call the money down, you got third and manageable, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Converting a third down plays is key to any good offensive output.
Hawks can converted a 3rd down on their last drive. Can they do it on this drive? Kickoff, left tackle. He's got it. It has a couple of spins before.
Phone call from the carry for Ankeny.
Caden Jones, the senior, makes the tackle, but not before the Hawks get another 1st down.
Good blocking. The line gave up the ball. Bayer's in there, Belding, getting there, moving the defensive line back. They play that 3-down lineman, so they're having to try to chew up a lot of those blockers, having a difficult time against this offensive line of Ankeny.
Kickoff steps around 1. This time it is Tajon Jones.
Brought down once again, number 2, Tajon Jones.
Usher was in there, kind of broke up the play, causing Kickoff to kind of change his direction. Let the rest of his linemen and his linebackers come in, clean up the play.
Coach Webb talked about that they've got to be able to stop the run of Ankeny. Tim, you and I have both seen Ankeny early on this year kind of struggled to run the football. They've gotten a little bit better, but they're trying to establish some of that run in this contest. Kickoff, left side, darts in, then out, then cut back and makes his way into the end zone. Nearly untouched again. Another score, this one 13 yards for a Hawk score.
Carter Smith, big, I know he's playing, he was playing guard in there, just buried someone that came in on there, bounced it out. Kickoff said thank you very much, and I'm going to take it in for a score.
Pelham on again to attempt the extra point. Out of the hole to Colin Riggs. High snap, put down in a hurry. Gets through. Hawks lead 14-0 here at Ankeny Stadium.
High quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Iowa Pig Farmers Care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
Ankeny goes 6 plays, 75 yards, another touchdown for Colin Kickoff, this time 12. Hawks have run 13 offensive plays, 2 drives, over 70 yards. Both have ended in touchdowns.
Picking up where they left off last week. Good offensive production.
Kick is taken by Voigt. He's near the 20.
Number 9, Easton Voigt.
We do have a couple of penalty flags that come in while they sort that out. We'll bring in Nate Goner.
Well, Paul, I tell you, it's only just over 6 minutes in, but there's a lot of smiles over here on the Ankeny sideline, specifically quarterback Jace Bauer. He's over on the sideline talking to a couple of his wide receivers, Brody Brecht and Jordan, come after that great offensive play. One thing I will say, I feel that long bomb was set up because of that great running in that first drive. Ankeny showing a lot of balance here in the first 6 minutes, a lot of good stuff.
Penalty, though, on that play. Thank you, Nate. Penalty on the play goes against the Hawks. So, again, Tim, Sioux City East not in the shadow of their own goalposts. In fact, they're at their own 36-yard line to start this drive.
They're going to have to pick up something more than just 8 yards in 3 plays like they did the last series.
Kellen sends Harper in motion for a moment, gives it to Harper. Dylan drives, and he gets moved forward on the bottom of that pile. Jack Krebs, Cale Crimmins.
Decent size along their offensive line for Sioux City East. You know, they run around between 240, 260, so they got some size. There's good drive blocking there. Looks like the line is with this option play that they run. They're straight ahead drive blocking offensive formation.
Harper right side. Near the first down. He's going to be close enough that they're going to stop the clock. Tonight's official, Dave Rittman, Brian O'Harilko, Garrett Gobble, Chris Scott, and Grant Kettle. And it is a first down for Sioux City East.
And Harper's our workhorse, really. Yeah, he's the one that I think the coach talked about, that he's being he could be their main running back outside the quarterback.
Harper again. McMullen and Jett are there. Also, for the Hawks, Nixon Timu in there. And now Timu comes out. Ball gets up to the 48, gain of 2 on that play.
Cribbs McMullen in there. That's a formidable line to get moving. Looks like they're trying to find a run either in the middle or run out to the right side of that formation.
Hawks show pressure on this passing situation. Screen is thrown and then caught. Ethan Brayfogle near the first down, but he got out of bounds first. It'll be 3rd and short. First time tonight, Sioux City East is in Ankeny territory.
Crandall on the outside to make a play. That's a lot of person to drag down there.
Third down. Quarterback's going to keep it. Oh, boy. I don't know if Kellen got it. Now, what's the old left-right? If he steps with the left, he's got it?
Yep, but he faces to the field. He's got his left foot out, so that means the ball's going to be about 4 inches farther down the field. It's going to be a first down. Yep.
And you saw the far line judge. He pointed, first down, move the chains.
I thought Manis had stopped him and stood him straight up, but that was we're seeing that quick quarterback run, picking up a quick 2 yards on that formation.
2 first downs on the drive for the Black Raiders. Harper, left side. He's popped and stopped.
Number 32, Dylan Harper on the carry.
Coming up for the tackle, Cale Boyd and Brecken Monis.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Boyd did that? Yeah, Boyd did kind of give him a little extra high five.
We're seeing
side five.
This offensive line, they're straight ahead drive blocking rows. They'll angle block, so they kind of go. They don't see a lot of tackle traps here. Basically, 5 offensive linemen. There's no tight end in their formation, so it's up to the 5 guys in front.
Harper and Brayfogle go in motion for a moment. Kellen, now Harper. Good drive here by Sioux City East. They continue to move the football forward, Tim. They're running the ball well. Getting 3, maybe 4 yards a crack. That time, it gets them again, and now they're going to go hurry up.
Quarterback draw.
Harper stood up. Rainey there first. Jett finishes them off.
Crimmins in there. Caleb Crimmins, in the backfield. I thought they might have gone to a quarterback option, but that looks like it's 4-down Terry. Down 14-0 here in the first quarter. So they're playing for their playoff life, so this is one, you're going to go on 4th down.
The other running back, Kyler Peterson, comes in. Black Raiders need to get to the north side of the 35-yard line, so down to the 34. That's 3 yards away where they're snapping the football. Quarterback draw. Callen, he's going to get only to the 35 before he falls.
Looks like he'll be a yard short.
I think he is going to be short.
There's a hole there briefly, but Monis coming in. Nice job. Especially nice job with the linebackers reading that. Kind of knew that the quarterback was going to take the ball. So good play by them.
So a turnover on downs there, Nate Goner. The Ankeny defense, they were getting pushed around a little bit, but then they thickened.
Yeah, they did, and I got to tell you guys, standing here on the sideline, This 3-down lineman front for Ankeny is just huge. It almost seems like college-like as far as their size, averaging about 230 pounds, standing about 6'2". I mean, quite a luxury the Hawks have.
And that's actually something, Tim, that Coach Webb talked about, and so were the other assistant coaches. Handoff left side is Jordan Come on the jet sweep, gets near a first down, got 9 on that play. That's one thing the coaches talked about, Tim, is they were like, you asked them, what do you guys see? And they go, size. So granted, the guy who said it to us was about 8 feet tall, I think.
Yeah. But they're impressive. They got size and they're athletic. You can have size and not move around, but these guys have size and they pull, they get outside, they make their blocks, they drive their blocks. So this is something better, that we've seen them play this year.
Up the middle go the Hawks. It's going to be a first down on the run.
Number 32, Colin Kickoff on the carry.
Kickoff gets the yardage needed.
Number 2, K-John Jones.
The Kickoff is finding room up in the middle. That's where you're getting your, all the traffic is. But Thompson's in there, Brown, Bayer. Those guys are really, making some holes. Carter Smith, but doing a nice job of sealing off the nose guard and creating an opening.
Bauer looks to the left. A lot of time. Now that clock expires, and he's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
Hoosier and Conley combined. Big time loss. That clock expired like the snap of a fingers.
And that's a 3-man rush. That was a good rush by those guys. So the lineman can only hold him out so long. I think he was looking for something deep. Looks like he had Breck down the left side of the formation. So now, but you had a second in management. Now you got, or first in management. Now you got a second and about 20, 21.
Loss of 11 on the play. Bauer keeps it. And now you're starting to notice Sioux City East has adjusted a little bit. Did you notice how the end crashed on that?
Yeah, you want to kind of seal that outside and make it the quarterback go with the middle. Where all the traffic is, where you get your nose tackle, then you get your 2 middle linebackers. They're going to kind of control that interior triangle there, and they're going to key on Bauer. They said he's a good running quarterback. They're not going to give him much room. They probably practice against the running quarterback once in a while. They kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, that's right. Bauer across the middle, throws, caught. First down and more. Jordan Comey's inside the 25 to the 21-yard line before Caden Jones wrestles him down.
Number 7, Caden Jones.
Very cool here is lining up kind of in the slot there. Went down there along the hash. Cut inside and kind of settled in behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties, kind of a little bit of a zone in there. Good pass and catch, pick up the first down. Much better blocking.
31 is the gain, and zeros are on the clock. We've played one quarter. Hawks lead 14-0.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
It takes more than a great price and great selection to continue to grow every year. We believe the reason is our core values. Hard work, we work hard for you. Integrity, it's not optional, it's required. We build trusting relationships and don't run when the problems arise. We're always improving the customer experience. It's been the Schottenkirk way for over 50 years. Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Waukee, and the all-new Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola.
Hawks have scored on drives of over 70 yards in their first 2 plays. Now they're looking to do it again. 1st and 10, they had 2nd and 21, got it all back, and then some on the last play. Folk goes in motion. Bauer looks to his direction, throws, caught. Jordan Comm, he's inside the 10 to the 4. Well, maybe the 5. Ray Fogel and Trajan Jones combine.
Same thing like the other big play back there. He's kind of finding a little soft spot in front of the safeties. And they have Breck going over the top, going over towards the running a post pattern. He had a couple choices out there. But good read by Bauer to go in there and find the open receiver, take the one that's open, march him down, get a first down, first and goal at the 5.
We saw it earlier this year, and I'm sure we'll see it as the year progresses. In the postseason, you're going to key on Brody Breck. Jordan Comm says, fine, I'll take the ball. Bauer under center. He's bootlegging at the right side. Throws towards the end zone. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Braden Simonson. Caden Jones there to break it up, but it was maybe a little bit of a circus catch attempt.
Tight window there, nice rollout, nice fake. He had it there, threw it on a rope between two defenders. It was hit him in the hand, so it was a nice throw.
Tim, that was an old sprint out, if I've ever seen one. That was taken under center, sprint out to the outside. I thought he should have maybe taken it all the way in.
Tied in the backfield.
Kadoff. So Colin gets a couple. Kadolf up to the 5. So he's kind of been running not straight ahead. He's been more take a step shift tonight, right?
Yep. Had the fullback in there. Carson Hilsbeck comes in. Had been playing fullback that series. Just kind of going there, wiping out anybody in his path. But good stout defense by Sioux City East, bringing up a 3rd and 5 at the 5-yard line, or 3rd and goal at the 5.
Hawks have got to get a score to get the first down. They go motion right, go back left. Kadoff sprint towards the end zone, towards the pylon, and he wins the race for his 3rd touchdown of the half. Coming right in to where the Ankeny Fire Department was staying.
It is second point after number 39, Max Solon. Out of the hole to number 3, Colin Riggs.
They were there for a rescue if they needed, but they weren't going to make the tackle. I think he was going to let him score. But that's where that speed comes in. He bounced to the outside, and then deceptive speed by Kadoff. Nice touchdown.
Pelham the extra point. The kick is up, and good. 21-0. Hawks in the lead.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Hawks score again on a long drive, this time 9 plays, 65 yards, and another touchdown for the sophomore Kadolf. And this kick is high in the air, taken at the 10, and going no farther than the 20 is Easton Voigt. Nate Goner's on the sideline. Nate, you about got run over on that last play.
Yeah, my goodness. I got to tell you, Jace Bauer, I think he should have been credited for that touchdown. It's unfortunate that receiver didn't catch it for him because that was the perfect play fake. And I agree with you, Tim. I think he probably should have ran it in for a score. But what a day for Kadoff. I mean, this kid has been impressing me since the Hoover game. He's got shifty feet, very patient behind that offensive line, and he's got a hat trick minutes into the second quarter.
Nagano down on the sideline. Tim will have a look at some other scores here after this play of other action going on tonight. Kellen. They go back with a different running back. This time we're seeing Kyler Peterson. Rainey and Crimmins, the tackle.
A couple scores been watching here of games of interest that we have. In the second quarter, Roosevelt and Southeast Polk tied 0-0, scoreless game. Over there, home game, Waukee at Johnson. Johnson leads that 7-0 late in the first quarter, probably just starting the second quarter now.
Winner of that one likely into the playoffs, Waukee and Johnston. Kellen gets a man in motion. And now he's going to throw the football. He's going to go down wide open. Receiver got behind everybody. Caden Jones. It's a foot race to the corner. He's at the 10, 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown for Sioux City East. 75 yards and a score.
He was a little bit open. He was out by 20 yards.
He had the whole yellow circle with no one else around.
It's like when the defensive backs are peeking in the backfield because number 3 was out there kind of doing a little wheel route, and they start peeking over there thinking he was going to get the ball. What they do, Keenan goes deep, or Kellen goes deep, touchdown, 75 yards.
On to attempt the extra point. And kick it through.
9:42 left in the first half.
21-7. Back after this.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Well, that didn't take much. That wasn't even 3 plays, Tim. That was 2. And Sioux City East gets off the field. Boy, that's not good. Oh, wait. Yeah. They scored on a 75-yard touchdown run or catch.
Is that a sustained drive? Or?
It's points on the board. You'll take it. Hawks take the return. That is Jordan Cum at the 30, makes a cutback. Still has a whole lot of field, and then a shoestring tackle made by Tajon Jones.
And that was a shoestring tackle because he had cut it. I thought he was stopped here at about the 35. If he would have made it past there, I think he'd have had the wide side of the field.
All right, Nate Garner, we got ourselves a football game down there.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I got to tell you guys, Ankeny coaches were not happy, as you can imagine, on that big touchdown pass. Kelvin wasn't a great thrown ball. I'm sure he couldn't believe how wide open his receiver was, able to get it and able to take it in for 7. And, we have a ball game here early in the second.
75 yards on that play, 75 of 81 total yards. Bowers pocket collapses, he tucks it and runs, gets to about midfield, gain of 6 on the play. Brayfogle the tackle. Tim, Sioux City East 81 yards passing, 75 of them coming on one play.
A play is a play. As long as they're within 2 touchdowns, it's better than being 21-0.
Well, and this is if you thought this wasn't going to be a game, Sioux City East says, we made this trip, we're here to play. Bauer with time, steps up, runs it again. He's got a first down, and if he can escape that, he's got a lot more, and he does, to the 30, inside. Before Kellen, it's quarterback on quarterback, and also Ethan Brayfogle there.
Wasn't for Kadolf and Cum, I think that Bauer may be the next fastest guy in this team. He took it up, and he's got a quick takeoff. Goes up, cuts to the outside, big play ability by Bauer there. getting the first down. I think he was looking for Brecht here on the left side, but wasn't going to be open, tucked it. He saw the hole and made something out of it.
Coaches will tell you all sorts of things. As Bauer hands it off and Kickoff is stopped that time. Roman Eby. Coaches will tell you all sorts of things. And when Coach Nelson this morning said, I think I'm going to have Bauer run the football, I'm thinking, okay, sure. I'm told all sorts of stuff like that. But by golly, tonight, they've done it. And to a success, he's trying to prove himself and offer something else that teams have got to prepare for. Let's go back to Dowling. Hank, excelled in running the football. Bauer throws it far side over the head of Jordan Comm. Would have been a first down. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 12.
I think he would like to have that one back because he was open there on the take a nice sideline route about 15 yards down, past the pylons, past the first down marker. I think he just kind of put a little bit of too much air underneath it and overthrew his receiver.
Jersey night here for the fans on the near side. The students are standing mostly to stay warm. They've had some things to cheer about. Let's see what the Hawks can do on 3rd and 12. Ball's at the 30. Hawks need to get to the 18. 2 receivers on the top side of your screen. Brecht goes in motion. They've got him initially. They're going to throw back the field. Oh, they got Weston Folk, and Folk is going to get into the end zone. If he puts his head down, the ball comes out of bounds. He stepped out at the 2, but Weston was going full out, laying out for that score, and he's just short. Gabe Wagner, the touchdown-saving tackle.
He had Brecht coming across the front formation, from left to right. Drew the safety over that's going to be wide open. Brecht is lucky. This is reminiscent of the Packer-Raider game. Whereas he's diving in the end zone, if he loses the ball into the end zone, it's a touchback. Even though the players like to stretch the ball out there. So luckily it stepped out of bounds because he did lose the ball to go through the end zone. So you want to be – players like doing that, but the thing is you can lose possession and end up giving the ball back to the defense.
They'll go with the big guy offense. They go Kickoff. Jive step left and nowhere else to go. Combining
number 32,
Brayfogle and Kyler Peterson.
Brought down by number 28, Kyler Peterson. Loss of 1, 3rd and goal.
So now Sioux City East has made an adjustment with Kickoff on the football.
I think they're getting used to the speed of the game and how to play the interior lineman, and they're holding their gaps a lot more. Those holes quite aren't as open as well. Bounce to the outside easier, but the inside is getting to be plugged up.
The Hawks have the 3rd best offense in Class 4A, and they're trying to add to it. Kickoff puts his head down, and he is into the end zone again for a touchdown.
Good block there. Carson Hillsbeck comes in as a fullback. You don't see that very often. He takes the first dive in there. You got a 220-pound senior coming at tight end, blocking there. It makes it a little bit easier for the running back to get in.
Well, football is all about trying to distract you and take you somewhere else. And that whole play, Brecht and Bauer were rolling to the right, but you knew Brecht wasn't going to get the ball. He was well short of it. And then all of a sudden, Bauer sets his feet, throws back to Folk. 2 plays later, the Hawks are in the end zone, and they just scored their 28th point of the game. And they still have the lead here at Ankeny Stadium.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Ankeny Hawks find the end zone again, this time a 7-play, 57-yard drive over 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Now lead 28-7. Colin Kickoff, 4th touchdown of the game. He's had scores of 16, 12, 5, and now 3. Paul Yeager, Tim Hauber, Nate Goner with you here tonight. Kick is going to bounce at the 10, go out of bounds at the
6.
And penalty will give Sioux City East a little better field position, Nate Goner. Well, let's sort that out. Let you talk. What's up?
Well, you know what, guys? Underlying storyline that is developing down here. Last couple of touchdown drives have not been possible without a big third down conversion from Jace Bauer, at least of 10-plus yards on a pass. I mean, Kickoff is having a great game running, but if it's not for the poise of the quarterback in pressure situations, those touchdowns might not come to fruition. Something to keep in mind of.
Cage Kellen comes back into the ball game. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. So Sioux City East has had great field position this whole game. Kellen looks, throws back on the screen. It's caught, and still moving is Gabe Wagner. He's at the 50, makes a cutback, gets a nice block downfield before Tawayatia makes the tackle along with Cale Boyd. Huge play again, Tim. Sioux City East has found some holes in this Ankeny defense. That's a gain of 25 yards.
That looping motion they have coming across the formation and then looping back going the other way seems to be throwing off the defensive backs. Not sure who to pick up. That was like a little short route across the middle that cut across the opposite direction. So they're going to need to find their gaps and stay home, get their reads figured out.
Loaded left side. Now they kind of balance it out a little bit. Handoff and stood straight up. Wow. Krebs there first.
Number 32.
As Dylan Harper got the handoff, and I think he's kind of thinking, why did I get that right there?
No gain to play, 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
We see Nixon Timu coming back in, playing a defensive tackle. Keeping those linemen fresh.
Harper comes up. Option. Kellen, nice cutback. Rainey the tackle. And he's near first down. By golly, he got it. He needed 10. I think he got 11, if not 12, up to the 25.
He's a quick read quarterback, gets out there. He doesn't spend a lot of time waiting for that hole to open up and then go pick his hole. He knows where he's going. They came down, pinched down, got Krebs on the outside, kind of pinched him on the inside where he couldn't hold that contain. Came out there and the quarterback had room to run.
Harper in motion, gets it on the sweep. Runs into his own offensive lineman on a pull. And Carter McMullen just bear hugged him down.
Leading the charge for ranking number 97, Carter McMullen.
The offense for Sioux City is getting a little bit of, getting some confidence they can move the ball against this defense. They're finding their blocking assignments and made some adjustments here that they're able to move the ball and get some first downs and keep their offense on the field.
It's going to be a quick snap. They sprint him out of the huddle. Harper gets to the outside. Shoestring tackle missed. The nice stiff arm by Jet. Or Jet is the receiver of that. He's not going to want to see that.
On the stop, number 5, Cooper Cox.
Just short of the first down by about a yard, maybe a half a yard.
5, 3rd and 1.
Well, now if you're Sioux City East, you're thinking, golly, we've just got to stop them because our offense is moving the football. I won't say it will, but they're having good success.
Also giving their defense a little bit of rest. For a while there was 3 and out, which will tire out a defensive line, but they've been playing well, you know, coming through. So now this is a big 3rd and 1.
Harper stood up, but he's going to get the first down, I think. Little extra shove comes in there. Cale Crimmins, after the play, continued on with a little bit of contact there. Enough for the first down. Black Raiders get a fresh set of downs. 4:20, clock moving, 2nd quarter.
Gabe Wagner comes back in. One of the running back or the multiple running back positions that they use.
Pass. Looped up, caught at the 10. That's Caleb Winter. He's inside 10. Cale Boyd, the tackle.
On the side, number 15, Cale Boyd.
Gain of 6. This Sioux City East offense, Tim, 6, 7 yards a pop now.
Then Vanderloo, who plays as a wide receiver, was wide open. He cut across the formation and ran a deep flag route to the corner. If he'd have looked, he'd have been wide open in the end zone.
Peterson next to Kellen, and before the snap, I don't think East was on the same page there.
Moved a little bit. It's going to cost some fire. Fairly negates that 6-yard gain that they.
False start. Oh, okay. They moved it backwards. Dave, you got to point the other way. False start on Sioux City East, but he did the false start sign, but he pointed to the defense. Yeah, that negates a good play.
Now 2nd and 9. This is really what your defense to step up. They kind of been relaxed a little bit in their formation. They need to find their gap assignments, pitching down.
Peterson again comes in. He'll get it on the run-pass option. He escapes one tackle and keeps on moving. He's near the 5. Crimmins and Watson were trying. Rainey's going to finish the day. Sioux City East running with a little more authority, and they're bouncing off these Ankeny players right now.
Seeing a lot of missed diving and missing these arm tackles, so they need to get their feet underneath them. You find a good tackle form would help them.
Kellen's going to throw the fade to the end zone. Tipped away. Last second by Ryan Crandall.
Jones falls incomplete. Covering number 6, Ryan.
It'll be 4th down.
4th and 2.
Do you go for it?
Yep, I would go for it. You got 28-7. It's 2 minutes left to go. If you don't make it, it's going to at least give them a longer field to which to go.
They'll take a timeout, and so will we.
Timeout, Sioux City.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
The Ankeny Hawks have 270 yards of offense, and don't look, but Sioux City East 179, Tim. 114 passing, 65 rushing. The first quarter kind of a blur. Here it was 14-0 Sioux City East. It's still 14-7 if you count the scores here in this half.
It's 4th.
But Sioux City East has been moving the ball at will. But they face a 4th and 2. They can get a first down and not a touchdown on this play. Ball's on the 6.
When they run trips out to one side, it's harder for them to blitz this. First time I've seen it.
Kellen's going to run it. He's hit once, and I think he got the first down. He needed to get to about the 4, and I think he got it with a yard to spare.
Yeah, Crimmins came in there, flying in there, almost had it. I'm impressed how Kellen breaks his tackles. The arm tackles aren't stopping these guys. They're coming in, making a cut. So no touchdown saving tackle there, but does create a 1st and goal on the 3-yard line.
Eleventh play of the drive here. Kellen to throw, rolls out. Here comes the heat, gets rid of it short. He was trying to get it to Bennett Vanderloo.
Vanderloo falls incomplete.
And I think Kellen took a hit.
Yeah, Mo Watson came in there, played it really well, had sealed off the edge there. They came up there and forced Kellen to throw it quicker than he had. Ends up throwing it short in the ground. It's a good play by Watson, forcing the quick throw and the incompletion. I like to get Kellen on the outside where he can use his athletic ability to run and give him a little more of a chance to run or pass.
I think Kellen might just run this football here. Takes the snap. He goes Harper. Rainey's going to hold on for dear life. Watson low, Rainey high. Gets to about the 1.5 foot line. Clock moving now, under 2 minutes to play. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Call number 97, Carter McMullen.
East in no rush here, Tim.
No, they don't. They do not want to give the. If they don't make it, they don't want to give the ball back to Ankeny with much time on the clock.
Callan's going to tuck it, and he is going to get.
They show him short.
Now, Ankeny says that it's a fumble. Neither official has made a motion. It is going to be Ankeny football. Fumble on the 1 yard line. Callan's trying to say he was down on contact. Nate Goner, I don't know if you could see anything. That was in front of you, but on the other side of the field. What'd you see?
Yeah, I saw a fumble myself. The guy who came up with it, Carter McMullen, number 97, big boy, 6'1", 240 pounds. And guys, we had been talking earlier about the number of turnovers that the defense has produced over the last several weeks. Notch another one, and it comes at a critical time in the first half.
That would have made it 28-14 if they would have been able to score there, and a 2-touchdown game's totally different than 3. But the Hawks now backed up. They are in the shadow of their own goal line. Bauer is going to keep it, find yards, and boy, if he keeps his hand down, that might have been the 99-yard wedge play. We once had that one time. Jessup at Northland. Kurt Saliski ran the wedge. We ran the wing T, Tim.
Lovely offense.
A lovely offense. Kurt Saliski takes the ball, and it was a wedge, 99 yards for a score. Never thought the dive play would work so well.
If it opens up, it's just like the Nile.
Kickoff gets
like the Black Sea. Maybe it was the Black Sea. I forget which one. A little weak on my references.
Yeah. I present to you the 10 commandments.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the Monty Python reference there for the audience. Like two of them are laughing
Google
out
it.
there.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Go watch that one. Just come back.
Looks like Ankeny's content to make one more running play here and run the clock down to 3 on 3rd and 1.
Kadoff, I thought for a minute he fumbled it. I heard ball on the far sideline. That's enough to move the chains. The clock will stop for just a moment. But I don't know how crazy the Hawks are going to be to run it.
Let the score work.
He did fumble it, right? Yeah, I thought so.
Indiana's up 17-0. They're a 19th ranked in the RPI, so a win, they may have a chance if they can win if someone in the top drops down.
That will do it for the first half. Ankeny 28, Sioux City East 7. The Black Raiders are headed into the locker room down, but fumble right there at the last minute, and coach is making his way towards Nate Goner. And they will meet and have a word right here at halftime. Nate, let's go down to you.
Head coach Rick Nelson joining us. Coach, thank you so much for the time. You're up 3 touchdowns last game of the regular season. Your thoughts?
Well, our offense has played really well. I haven't seen the defense. We've just been trying to make adjustments, so I haven't really seen what's happened, but I know they've been moving the ball on our defense. That was a big right there because they get the ball second half, so for them not to score was key because then it would have been just a 2-point or a 2-possession game. So I'm glad they fumbled and we got it, and we just got to make some corrections at half on our defense, and I think offensively we're doing pretty good, so just keep doing what we're doing that way.
Wanted to see if I could get a couple comments from you about your quarterback, Jace Bauer, and the maturation process that he has had. It looks so poised running the offense for you. Had a couple of big third down conversions passing the ball.
Yeah, he's done a lot better. He sees things better. He had one he could have let go. We got sacked. I don't know if he couldn't see or what, but he's done a really nice job. He's a competitor. He's an awesome kid, studies football. And I think that's why he's made such a gain from last year is just his commitment to be a really good quarterback.
Last question for you, Coach. Keys to the second half and ending the seniors' regular season career with a win.
Well, I think it'd be nice if we could come out and 1-2-3 punt for our defense. They've moved the ball on us. We're not tackling very good. We're reaching. So we just got to clean that up. It'd be nice if we can go 1-2-3 punt. We can come and get the ball again and score. I think that'd be key for us. If we can score our first possession, stop them in 3 plays, and then I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Coach Rick Nelson joining us at halftime. Coach, thank you so much and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, that's Nate Gonner down with head coach Rick Nelson. We'll talk girls cross country when we come back. Ankeny leads 28-7 here on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here at halftime, Paul Yeager along with Aaron Klingensmith, the head cross-country coach of the girls for the Ankeny Hawkettes. And last night, hate to say it, unfortunately, the season's over. We were hoping we could talk about state, but we can still talk about a very good season. Congratulations on that good season. It's always it's a little bittersweet when it comes to the end.
It is. Like I said, we had probably the best race we've had all season last night at districts. The girls ran exceptionally well together, and our times were very, very tight and close-knit with one another, which is exactly what we want to end the season. I mean, they just kept improving until the culmination last night. So it was awesome to see them race like they did.
So running last night at the district meet at Marshalltown, and you can go anywhere, and you're going to run into some really tough running, whether it's a Central Iowa team, an Eastern Iowa team. This one, you had a couple East and those darn Johnston Dragons.
Johnston came out on top again, but even the number 2, 3, and 4 placers, they were only separated by about 7 points. So it was a really, really tough district that we were in. The new Iowa City Liberty School was there. Indianola came kind of not totally out of nowhere, but they busted up into the second place ranking there, or second place spot there. It was a tough race. A lot of great female runners in this district. So it was a tough competition, but our girls ran really well. So we're proud of them for that.
All right, let's talk about some of those runners that have run real well. This is your chance, Coach, to get on the spot. And if you don't write them down and you don't get them something, you know they're going to just write home and say, how could Coach forget my name again? Tell me who some of your best runners or some of your runners have been.
So this year, freshman stepped up, Jenna Pitts, and she came on strong from the beginning of the season and just kept getting better and better and better. And she was our front runner all season, which was nice to have such a young lady as our front runner, and just kept improving her times. Broke 20 minutes at the DMAC course at conference, so she ran in 1950 there. And Marika Kiskin, who has come on strong late in the season, and she ended up being our number 2 runner finisher, and she even was our number 1 runner at Rimrock, which was great to see. And then, of course, we got Madeline Murphy in there and Megan Bosch as two great front runners for us as well, where they're there in that 3-4 spot, 2-3-4 spot, kind of interchanging in between there. Got a senior Sierra Fillinger who came on strong and actually finished third for us last night. So that was awesome to see her her senior year to bust it out and just do a great job there. And then another freshman was in the 7 spot for us. Paige Beeson. She has grown so much. Tiny little girl, but she packs a lot of punch and gets through it. And then Ava Van de Mortel, she's done a great job for us this season as well, progressively getting stronger. She's actually a sprinter, 100-meter dash sprinter for track, and comes out for cross country and makes the varsity squad and has been on there for the majority of the season. So it's great to see that and see her depth with her running.
Well, we've seen sprinting at these marathons where they're running these ridiculous, almost like sub-4 miles. I mean, they basically are sprinting. The thing about cross country that's a little different, and maybe to an extent track on the girls' side, is sometimes the girls run better freshman, sophomore. It's not as surprising to see. So how is it that you have that relationship with your younger coaches, working with those 8th graders, maybe the 7th graders of the running club, and try to get them ready so when they come into you as freshmen, it's not that big of we're under the big lights now?
It's good to develop them younger. Even over the summer, we have our cross-country camp where we invite all of the girls, 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders to come out and run with us and try to scale back their mileage so they're not going quite as far. So they get to interact with the other older girls and see what they're doing and kind of look up to some of their idols that they've seen throughout. So it's nice to be able to have them in there as well. But just having the 8th grade cross-country coaches just take on our mindset too and develop those girls that way. They come in with the mindset of they want to improve and get better throughout the season, so that helps us out a ton.
Well, when you have leadership like that can say this is how it's done, and the bonding among runners I've always found is we'll just say different.
Yeah, a lot of the girls say, hey, we run to eat. That's what we do. So they can eat and enjoy socializing together. That's really, it's a bonding experience like no other. And even cross-team rivals, us and Centennial, we're constantly cheering each other on during races and helping each other out in that mode and that fashion too. So you wouldn't see that in any other sport, I don't think. So it's kind of ironic that you'd see that here in this sport.
Well, they've run together in a lot of those events. So no team, no individual qualifies for Fort Dodge. So now you can handicap that race. Who do you like statewide in Class 4A?
I think Johnston's going to really come out on top again this season. I don't think they're going to let anybody like Southeast Polk or one of those other teams who are also top front runners too get the best of them this year. I think they're really going to be on the lookout, and they have brought themselves along pretty well over the course of this season, and they're going to be ready to go. I think Johnston I see as a front runner there. But individually, you've got the girl from Ames, and you've got Keeney from Liberty that I think are going to be front runners up there, battling out for that state championship individual title. So it'll be kind of nice to see them race it out. They're going to be in front of everybody by quite a bit. So it'll be fun to see them all so far up there and maybe break a record or two. Yeah. I don't know, who knows.
And it'll be a fast race.
It will be. Yeah. That race is always fast, and nobody's ran on Fort Dodge at all this year, or the last 2 years. We haven't made it up there except for the state meet, and so we don't get that individual time trial there later in the season as we have in the previous years. So it's kind of nice to everybody's gonna be on the same level playing field now too. All the teams will be, so it'll be nice.
So forgive me, do you do track as well?
I do not. I just do cross country, but I help out and give advice. And
you pass on the runners, the distance runners, or the 100-yard sprinters that run cross.
And Coach Cotter, who's the varsity track coach, he's my assistant for the cross country season. So we have a lot of stuff going there. And then Coach Olson helps out with track as well, the distance side. She's my other assistant, and so we've got the connection that way too. So it's good to develop them on both sides and recruit.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it's always one of those swear words for some, but flat out that is what you got to do. You have to with the younger runners, whether it's a running club, like you said, 6, 7, 8, you run them with and just to let them know that this is what you're going to be a part of. The band does it, football does it, cross country shouldn't be any different.
No, I don't kid. We like to get a hold of them early and let them enjoy running, and then get that competitive nature kind of built into them as part of the culture as they kind of step up into those roles and want to be a part of the varsity squad. So that's what we hope, is that they all just want to aim for that varsity position, and then aim again like qualifying for state and beating some of these top ranked teams. Like even Iowa City West didn't make it into the state meet as a team this year, and they haven't done that in 25 years. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. So we should be able to, over the course of the next couple of years, get stronger and stronger and stronger and push ourselves back into that state qualifying tradition.
If that's what they say, you gotta play the games. That's why they play the games, right?
You do, exactly. Just keep them in it.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
I appreciate it. We're going to take a quick time out. We're at halftime. We're going to try to show you just a tiny little bit of the band when we come back.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here.
Hey,
welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot, thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
Well, hello, everybody. Paul Yeager along with the much taller Dan Holm. Hi, Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. You probably wanted to do this interview inside, right?
That'd be nice. It's a little chilly out here, isn't it?
But it's not windy. You got to take advantage. You got to take the good where you can.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse.
All right. So Ankeny started out absolute bust out of the blocks. I mean, drives of 72, 75, 68. Great drives, but then all of a sudden Sioux City East said, hey, we can play too.
Yeah, they're not a bad team. You know, that was a big fumble there at the end. If they'd scored there, you know, it'd be really interesting. But, yeah, I think the Hawks are pretty much in control here.
I think the defense, though, Coach Nelson, you didn't get a chance to hear, but he said it right at the end with Nate Goner. He's like, we got to do a little better job tackling. Now, here's the thing. To explain some of that, you play 3 games against teams that don't really give you much of a contest. It's kind of hard to dial it back up against guys that are running harder.
Yeah, I would think so. And it is a little chillier tonight, so, yeah, that might make it a little more difficult, too.
So have you done any playoff figuring yet?
You know, I've had some people ask me this week, you know, who's going to play who, and there's just so many variables. It'd take forever to figure it out, I think.
Well, they'll have the Iowa High School Athletic Association says they'll have the pairings out tonight. You know, one year they did that show. That just put everybody behind. There'll be coaches staying up late. You know, you think of the teams that are playing those long bus trips. They'll have it figured out. They'll have it figured out before they even probably get on the bus. But most likely Centennial home. They'll be home. It's that factor of if Ankeny is home. Have you heard anything about it if it would happen to be both of them home?
My best guess is that if they hold on to win this game, that they're going to be in that 8-9 game, and they might be the 8 seed, but if the 9 seed is the district champ, they'd have to play at the 9 seed. So I don't think both Ankeny teams are going to be at home.
Unless something weird happens.
Right.
All right, so you'll have coverage of this game. Centennial played last night, so you've already got that one done and on the site.
That's right. It's a slow night. So.
Only one at a time. What else you got going on this weekend?
Well, not much tomorrow. Got kind of the weekend off. I'm going to the Iowa State game, but it'll pick back up next week with regional volleyball, and then, of course, state cross country next weekend, district swimming, and playoff football. So it'll be a fun week.
Well, you don't have to do that Wednesday playoff football thing now.
Yeah, I'm glad about that.
That was always so weird.
It was, yeah. Too many games in too short a time.
And it was always kind of hard. What night is it? Do we have football night? I can't remember. All right, so podcast on Ankeny Fanatic. It comes to your way. Most of the time it comes on Wednesday. Who was on this week?
We had a couple cross-country runners on to preview the district meets, and both the boys ended up qualifying for state, so that was kind of a neat deal. This upcoming week we'll probably do something with football, probably with the Hawks.
Well, if you had to pick a player of the game right now, who'd you pick?
That'd be a pretty hard choice, wouldn't it? I think it'd be Colin Cadell for those 4 touchdowns.
So have you asked him how to pronounce his name?
I haven't.
Because we've said it. I probably say it, and I apologize to Colin's family. 3 different ways in a sentence. Kickoff is how and then I also catch myself doing Kickoff.
Yeah. Kickoff, I think, is right.
How about just touchdown?
Yeah, there you go.
Touchdown, Colin.
Touchdown, Colin. There you go.
All right, defensively, they're going to have to shore up. What else do you see as keys in the second half?
Well, I think that's going to be the key. They just need to slow East down a little bit, and obviously Ankeny can just continue to drive the ball, eat up some clock, and, I think they're in good shape.
And then volleyball, you said regional volleyball next week.
Yeah, Tuesday night, both Ankeny teams will be in action, so it'll be interesting to see how they do.
You could have both of those at state if things go well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then you'd be at that makes your trip to Cedar Rapids all the more worth it.
Sure, yeah, it's fun. They were both there last year, so maybe it'll happen again.
Dan Holm, Ankeny Fanatic, check out his stuff. Thanks, Dan.
Yep, thanks, Paul.
All right, AnkenyFanatic.com. They'll have game story and photos and podcasts and all sorts of great stuff. Sioux City East is making their way out. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Nate Goner will have Coach Webb right after this.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender, and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
We're at halftime. Let's go down to the sideline. Nate Goner.
Thank you so much, Paul. I'm here with Sioux City East head coach Brian Webb. 28-7 is the score at halftime. Coach, your assessment of the first half?
Well, defensively, that's trying to take away the big play for them is a struggle. But offensively, I think we're playing really well. Had an opportunity down there at the very end. The ball was across the goal line. Didn't get the call, but our kids will persevere. So it's not the first time that's happened to us.
As far as second half adjustments, what is the key for you guys to making a comeback and making this more of a game in your favor?
Well, I think offensively we're doing well. I think we've only punted the ball once, and we just got to continue to do what we do. We feel like we can run the ball on them. Defensively, we just can't give up those big plays. I mean, they're just a really balanced offense, and we have to stop the run, and we're not doing a great job of that, but we have second half to prove it again.
Coach Brian Webb of Sioux City East, thank you so much for the time and good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Nick Goner down our sideline. If it helps if I turn my microphone up. All right, we're at halftime, 28-7. Hawks have not yet come onto the field, but they've made their way out of the locker room. And we're getting ready for half number 2. We'll take a moment here to get you caught up on some of the other scores before we look at statistics. And Tim, he's been busy searching the old web for some of those scores. What do you got there, Tim?
I'm not just sitting here playing my phone. I'm actually looking up scores here. So the game we're watching, we said it'd be an interesting game, the Southeast Polk and Roosevelt. We have Southeast Polk up 21-0 at halftime. Both a 6 and an 8 rank in RPI, their game. Here's kind of a playing game. Waukee and Johnston. Waukee at 12 RPI, Johnston 17. Johnston leading that 10-7 at half. Fort Dodge, who's ranked to 15 in the RPI, is leading 14-3 over Marshalltown. Urbandale's up 14-0 over Ames. Indianola 17-0 on Des Moines East. It is surprised when we're watching out on the east side of the state. We talked about Prairie, if they could really mess things up. That's tied at halftime with Cedar Falls 7-7. That's a game to watch here the second half because that could really upset and move some of the seedings around in Class A.
Well, if memory serves me, Prairie got beat when they came over to this side of the state, and Cedar Falls beat Ankeny when the Hawks went up there, but it was only a 1-point difference in that contest. But that was a ways ago. First half statistics, Ankeny has 283 yards of total offense of yardage. Bauer, 8 carries, 58 yards rushing. Colin Kickoff, 15 carries, 73 yards. Different for him, though, is 4 touchdowns. He scored all those. Jordan Kamakari and 9 yards. But then, passing, it is Brody Breck, 2 catches, 53 yards. Jordan Cum, 3 catches, 63 yards. And then Weston Folk, 1 catch, 27 yards. Bauer is 6 for 8, 143 yards passing. And the Hawks are 24 carries for 140 yards. Sioux City East, a total of 184, 114 passing. That's 4 of 7 from Kellen. And him rushing the ball is 5 for 20. Harper, 12 for 37. Peterson, 3 for 13. Passing It's Wagner 1 for 27, and Jones, the TD catch, 1 catch, 75 yards. That is a good way. Let's see, Jones, he had 8 catches, 216 coming into this game. That's a good stat pattern.
Yeah, he's there. It's going to get even better with his average. 75 yards a catch is a really good average. It's going to help it quite a bit. I think the defense, looking at for Ankeny, I think keying on that, I think Kellen would carry the ball more, but Harper's the one that's doing the damage. 12 carries, 37 yards. That's averaging about 3 yards a carry. But he's had some nice runs there in the middle, getting 3 and 4 yards. That last drive they had, they took it down to the 1 foot line. And they made a couple third down plays there, but they were picking up 3 yards here, 5 yards here, so it was a really good drive they had coming down the stretch.
We'll take a quick break and have the second half when we return. Ankeny leads 28-7. The third.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me.
All right, back in action. Tyler Hansen has come into the ball game as a running back. He gets the handoff from Jace Bauer. Hansen's going to run around the right side. He's got some room. He's at the 20. 15 makes a cutback at the 10. 5. He is in the end zone for a touchdown. Tyler Hansen, the score for the Ankeny Hawks.
Great job by both teams. This is what teamwork is all about. So it's great to see that both sides out there congratulating him on a great touchdown run.
And Hansen's getting taken off the field on the shoulders of his teammates.
A chance of MVP coming out of the crowd.
And let's see who's carrying the way there. It's Carter Smith. You can follow him, and then I think it was Crimmins. He was on that shoulder. Now listen to the fans on the near side give him a cheer. Great moment here at Ankeny Stadium for Tyler Hansen, and more teams have been doing that, and I think that just shows that sports is more than just about wins and losses.
That's true.
And the Hawks have got to get themselves back out here on the kickoff, and then we'll have Nate, I don't know. I'm going to go to you real fast here. Nate, did you see that touchdown? That was a nice play.
My goodness, yes. I mean, he had the entire right side of the field to run in. No, I agree with you guys. I believe sports is the best distraction from any of life's problems, and, power of sportsmanship was just seen right there. Beautiful moment down here, and, again, I don't have anything else to say. It's just a beautiful moment and getting ready for the second half.
All right, let's do that now. The Hawks are onto the field for the kickoff team. Pelham to put his foot into it and get half number 2 underway. Going to be taken back. Caden Jones at the 20 tries to get to the outside. He's still on his feet, 30, and he's pushed out of bounds by Brady McCullough, the sophomore. And it'll be first down and 10 for Sioux City East. And that means Cage Kellen, who in that first game. So, I don't know if you heard Coach Webb there, Tim. They only punted once, and Ankeny didn't punt at all. We talked about that 3-and-out situation, but really, they had that 2-and-out drive. Well, it was a touchdown of 75 yards, but it was a good half of football. Just gave up a couple of too many touchdowns. See what they can do in the second half. They go right away, handoff Jones, and he is dropped. Connor Rainey.
Good pursuit by Rainey there, coming from the defensive lineman spot to come down the line and keep that to a 4-yard gain. Big series for the defense here to come out. They gave up that last time they had the ball. They drove down there to the 1-yard line. The defense sees what they, as Coach said, I'd like to see a 3-and-out and punt for our defense to start the second half.
28-7, Hawks in the lead. Black Raiders with the ball. Kellen to throw. Screen dropped. Gabe Wagner had it. He had an eye downfield, and he would have been close to a first down just on the catch. And about 2 steps. Coming into the ball game, McCullough on the secondary. You don't think he was close to the first down?
He would have been down at the 36, 37. It would have made it a 3rd and short. That was open earlier in that first half. They had that little screen middle play.
Kellen with time, throws it down deep left side and tied up, incomplete. Crandall was there. Ryan Crandall broke it up. Caden Jones was the intended receiver.
Nice job by Crandall.
That time the pass just fell short.
Yeah, Crandall was out there and he had a beat on it, so he was going to be playing off. Actually, Jones was going to have to play defensive back there to break it up, or that would have been an interception by Crandall.
So, a 3-and-out pitch here. Caleb Winter comes in to punt. Jordan Cum to receive back at the 40. Winter gets it away and takes Cum all the way back to the 30. Goes backwards 5 yards. Makes a step. Gets to the near side at about the 42 where he goes down. Great starting field position for the Hawks on this drive. Nate Goddard down on our sideline.
Well, Coach Nelson's got to be happy. He wanted 3 and outs, and now his offense has the football just a minute into the third quarter with a chance to really put even more separation on the scoreboard.
.57 left to play, third quarter. Kate off the reverse. Brody Brecht gets a seal block. Brody at midfield into Black Raider territory. Penalty flag comes down. It's a sprint down the left sideline. Tackle made, Caden Jones. This one's probably coming back in the area of holding or illegal hands out downfield.
It might be on Cum there. I think that, number 6, the defensive back, had turned, and I think he just got his hands in his back. Didn't push him, but they see the hands extended like that, they're going to throw that flag. Wasn't much. But they're going to call that play. They look for that downfield block from the receiver, so it's a tough one to get away from.
Dowling is rolling tonight, 50-0 over Sioux City North, and they are at half. Here it's 28-7, Ankeny. In the third quarter, penalty wipes out a good play. Brecht, they haven't really gone to throwing. They've thrown at him once tonight. Twice, actually, 2 catches. Too many men in the huddle. They can't break the huddle with 12.
So they had a second. They had a first and 9. So all in all, after the penalty, they gained a yard so far.
1st and 9. I'm always saying how it is 1st and 9. Kadoff, left side, gets to the edge, gets out of bounds near the sticks.
Bear out there. The tackle getting a good block. Picking up for Kadoff to pick up the 9 yards to get the first down.
Hawks offense getting a chance to be on the field. Last week, only 20 offensive plays. Jace Bauer, 5 of 5 passing. 4 of them were touchdowns. Colin Riggs, 1 pass, 1 completion. Bauer back to pass. Has time. He's going to air it out. Brody Breck's got a step down the sideline. Caught. Touchdown. Ankeny Hawks. Brody Breck, 48 yards and a score.
Once again, good blocking on the offensive line. Bauer back there setting up, could step into his throw. Perfect arching pace. Hit him in stride. Good touchdown pass to Brody.
Brecht, 3rd catch of the game. That was a doozy. I said sideline, I meant hash mark. Sorry. Normally you used to see his last catch, that circus catch, was down the sideline. Pelham on to attempt the extra point out of the hold by Riggs. Catches it, fire, yells fire, just throws it towards the end zone and won't get it anywhere. That ball bounced on the snap, so the score will stay 35-7 when we return.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
It takes more than a great price and great selection to continue to grow every year. We believe the reason is our core values. Hard work, we work hard for you. Integrity, it's not optional, it's required. We build trusting relationships and don't run when the problems arise. We're always improving the customer experience. It's been the Schottenkirk way for over 50 years. Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Waukee, and the all-new Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola.
Apparently, if you pay me money, I will say your son's name who hasn't caught the ball lately, and he'll catch the ball, and it'll be a score. I'd like to thank the Brecht family for the $20. That's real nice.
The window is open?
The window is open. I guess people are listening. No, it's it's just when you think a guy's not getting the ball, he gets the ball. So that's why they're coaching, and we're up here. The kick is taken by Tajon Jones up near the 30-yard line at about the 27. Nate Goner's down on the sideline. Nate, are you getting money on the side too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not down here anyway. I will say on that touchdown pass, perfect pocket for Bauer to throw. Another something I'm going to keep an eye out here on the sideline. Brody Brecht, after that touchdown catch, did gingerly walk over to the sideline. Medical trainers are taping up both of his legs. I don't think it's going to keep him from playing, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Hand off to Kyler Peterson, line of scrimmage and no more.
On the side, number 18, Brecken minus number 42, Mo Watson.
It's a 3-and-out last series. The defense would like to do that again. Crimmon's there in on the tackle.
That fumbling on the 1 is really going to be one of those turning points of this contest that the Black Raiders are going to be thinking about. But if they can put it together here, keep it close. Kellen calls his own number. Bounces it back outside. Boy, he goes just through about 5 tackles. Crandall went in with the shoulder but no hands. In there helping on that was Cooper Cox. Cale Boyd in the neighborhood. Gain of 10 on the play.
He does break tackles really well. Doesn't go down easy. He's a really good running back. Everybody's taking their wristbands.
My wristband says it's about 8:32.
Yeah. Maybe that's the play. It's 8:32 play.
8:32. Okay, so that means we're running. And play clock gets all the way down to 0. But before that, Sioux City East takes a timeout. So will we.
Sioux City East.
every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
You can hear me okay. Is your headset volume okay? Oh, hey, we're on, everybody. Nate, is your headset volume? We're live now. So Noah, turn up his pot so we can hear him talk. Nate, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Can you hear us okay? You want more headphones?
Yeah, just a little bit would be all right.
Sounds good to me. We do in-game services like that. 34-7, 9:03 to play third quarter.
No charge.
No charge. Glad you're watching. Tell a friend, CISN.TV. We've been here all season. Glad that you've allowed us to be part of your night. Harper misses one and can't miss the other. Crimmins finishes up what Kriebs started.
Brought down for the Hawks by number 45, Cale Crimmins.
Totia in there, got in the backfield, kind of impeded his progress.
2nd and 7.
Haven't seen that motion that they were running in the second quarter that was so successful in that long drive.
They go unbalanced to this side, and then they send a guy in motion on one of those weird motion patterns. Kellen's going to go down deep again. He's got the man. I'll tell you what, Caden Jones has gotten behind his defender a couple of times tonight. He just about scored again.
He's got the extra gear. He kind of gets out there like he's gliding, and then he takes off, and he creates a bigger gap. If that was a little bit more on line, that would have been a long completion. We've got a couple of those scores. Southeast Polk now in the third quarter leading Roosevelt 28-0. So they're going to secure their spot.
And Waukee has now gone on in front of Johnston.
Yeah, 14-10. That's we call that like a playing game.
Kellen rolls out. Here comes some heat. Gets rid of it. Near sideline. Caught. Gabe Wagner at midfield. That's enough for a first down.
Knocking out of bounds, number 42, Mo Watson.
Wagner coming across the formation.
Ball plays the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, Sioux City East.
Mo Watson, the tackle.
Ankeny's playing a zone, so these guys are coming across and leaving one zone going into the other. So you're going to find that gap in there, and if the quarterback has the time, he's going to always find that opening.
Kellen, pump fake, throws back across. Caught Wagner. Wagner gets away for a moment from Cale Boyd, but not anymore.
Number 15, Cale Boyd.
Good tackle there. That's been open several times. Is that inside screen where the back goes in there and settles down right by the linebackers, finds a spot in there and picks up that little short screen. But a good job by Cale Boyd by keeping the ball in front of him, the ball carrier in front of him, tackling him for a short gain.
2nd and 5. Kellen, here comes some heat. And he makes one man miss, keeps the play alive, looks downfield, throws as he's hit, intercepted! Tawiatia! And Jet takes it all the way back to the 37-yard line. Penalty flag back at the 46.
By number 2, Yeti Tawiatia.
Tawiatia, Jet.
That all started with Mo Watson coming in hard on the quarterback where he threw it up, hitting the quarterback as he's throwing. Tawiatia in coverage makes the leaping interception, returning it upfield. I don't know if there's a block in the back or if there was a penalty. Usually that means that these linebackers get all excited when it's time to block, and instead of blocking, they tackle people. It's just in their nature. So they can be forgiven for that. But good play by Tawiatia.
Be a 15-yard penalty. It was an illegal block there, a chop block. Dave Rittman the call.
31-yard line, 1st and 10 Hawks.
So now the Hawks had returned it all the way inside the 40. Now they got to go back almost 30 yards to where they would have started, but still great field position at the 31. Bauer and company go to work. 2 receivers to the right.
Come in motion. They go Kickoff right where come came from. Collins, secondary, up towards the 45, gain of 13.
Seeing Hilsenbeck in the formation a lot more, going out there blocking. Know if he's going as lining up as an H-back, blocking back, coming in there, but he kind of helped push that outside line. Great cutback lanes, great cutback vision by Kickoff to take it to the right and cut it back up in and picking up great yardage.
Tajon Jones, the tackle on that play. Fresh set of downs. Here go the Hawks. They go come. Jordan tries to shake and bake, gets back the line of scrimmage, and then Brayfogle stops him at just across midfield by about 3 inches.
Somehow he got 6 yards on that play.
I don't know how he did it. Cedar Falls leads Prairie 28-21 at half. In motion, Hilsenbeck. Kickoff. Kaboom. He's down to the 35, knocked out of bounds. Dylan Harper, the tackle.
Keep forgetting that Kickoff is, I've called him Kickoff, I've called him Kickoff. Keep forgetting he's a sophomore running back. A lot of skill there. Good team speed. Downer coming in, going out far wide right.
Play action. Bauer steps away, steps under. Jordan comes open at the 3, 2, 1, and it goes in and out of his hands. Incomplete. Would have been a touchdown had he held on for just another half second. Just came down with the ball, but then it jarred loose. Caden Jones there on defense. One of those 7 players, going both ways for the Black Raiders.
Nice job by Bauer sliding in the pocket, sliding to his left a little bit, setting his feet. One thing he's learned, instead of throwing on one foot, he's getting his feet back underneath him so he could drive the ball, and he throws a really nice ball, and that was hitting him in the hands.
Second down. Bauer steps under pressure. Throws wide open. Weston Folk at the 20, the 10, 5, 1 foot line. Oh, so close. I thought Weston was going to pull him into the end zone. What do I know?
That was a nice rollout by Bauer going out there, and then on the run, throwing a nice route there.
We have an injured Black Raider down at the 20. So they're going to mark Folk down at the 2. Again, conversations with coaches when you don't know 100% what they're going to tell you. That was a gain of 33 for Folk. Coach said, hey, we might go, he said it in the interview, we're going to have a tight end on the field all the time. He was right. Sometimes, too. They went to Folk. He's 6'3", 215, another one of those juniors. Depending how far this team goes this year, Hawks are set up for a great run next year. It's just a matter of what they're able to do, make the most of it. You just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Folk comes in this game, 13 receptions, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he has had some productivity. It's so hard, when you have a Brody Brecht and a Jordan come in there, taking up between those two. They had 47 receptions coming in the game, but the tight end coming in and becoming a little more integral of this offense, which is another weapon. So if you're scouting this for the players, they're going, well, they can throw to come, they can throw to Brecht. Kickoff running, Bauer runs, Bauer's throwing on the run, setting in the pocket. So becoming much more multidimensional as they come down the stretch.
Bennett Vanderloo, the injured Black Raider, is taken off the field on his own power. Bauer will go under center. I formation behind him. Pop pass, throws it into the air, jump ball.
up for Jared Downer, and it's incomplete. That was just a pure jump ball thrown, and the defender said, "No, I didn't do anything. I'm good."
Pass intended for number 17, Jared Downer.
Downer, senior wideout, 6'2" wideout. Wanting to get him the ball. If you would try that again, and if you would do a quick slant in, I think the safety wouldn't be there in time to stop him.
Well, they got Downer on the top side. They go tight formation again. Handoff, Kickoff. Can he get his 5th touchdown? If he can get to the pylon, he does, and he does! Touchdown!
Touchdown, a 2-yard run, number 32, Colin Kickoff.
Kickoff with another touchdown run.
Similar to the touchdown he had before, got to the outside, and then it's just a foot race, and not many are going to catch him.
So Riggs will come out to hold the Pelham kick. I think the Hawks are going to take a timeout because they might go for 2 to make this 30.
Timeout, Ankeny.
Well, it wouldn't be a 35 running clock. If they could get it to 2, they would. But we'll step away for a quick 30 right after this.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Looks like the Hawks are going to bring out the offense, try to go to 2 to make it a 35-point game and a running clock here, 5:44. As the Hawks now cross over the 400-yard threshold. I think the Hawks are still missing a player. They're missing a running back. Kickoff doesn't know he's supposed to be out there. Play clock at 20. Instead, they're going to send Hilson back. Okay, he's a sophomore.
I think they're going to pass.
Bauer throws a jump ball into the corner. Caught. Jordan Comm. 2-point conversion is good. 42-7. A continuous clock when we return.
Third quarter, the Sioux City Black Raiders 7, Uri Hawks 42. Whenever the score is 35 points or more difference, there will be a running clock until that score is reduced below 35 points. The clock will not stop for normal play.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Colin Kickoff, his 5th touchdown, ends in
number 9, Easton Voigt.
Another 6 points for Ankeny. Easton Voigt, the return up to the 25-yard line. Nate Gunner, we now have ourselves a running clock.
Yes, we do, and we found out that Kickoff is actually a little human. He's had a superhuman game on the field, but as you saw in that 2-point conversion, he was supposed to be out there, and despite his 5 touchdowns, Coach gave him an earful on the sideline as he was not out there for the 2-point conversion. Luckily for the Hawks, they were able to pass it for 2, but, Colin Kickoff, human, guys.
Well, that's what I said to Tim. He's a sophomore there. They go Gabe Wagner Still running, still churning. He is pushing his way up to the 30. Connor Rainey, the tackle.
Gabe Wagner. At the bounce foul for number 72, Nixon Tamu.
Shouldn't have the window open, Noah.
Yeah.
Why did you have the window open? Get yourself sick.
Fresh air is good for you.
Fresh air is good for you. Sleep better at night.
Yep.
6-yard gain on the play.
In the last series, we saw a lot of passing done by Sioux City East, so they were trying to go to the air, trying to find the open. I wonder if we'll see more of Caden Jones running some deep routes because he's been open. He's kind of gotten over the top of the defense.
Kellen. Ooh. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Ooh. Cale Boyd pops. Tajon Jones, the sophomore.
Right now, the number 15, Cale Boyd.
Boyd wasn't low on that play, but he did deliver a little bit of a pop. Let's see. So Southeast Polk still leads Roosevelt 28-0.
Trying to get some updates here.
Cedar Falls leads Prairie 28-21. Indianola winning right now. Dowling in control at Sioux City North. Here, Ankeny leads Sioux City East 42-7. Kellen rolls out, throws off his back foot, had his receiver, Jones, tip it up, but they were running out of field. They ran out of the sideline, out of bounds, incomplete.
Somehow got his hands on it.
Pass intended for number 7, Caden Jones, falls incomplete. Covering number 5, Supercock, number 6, Ryan Crandall.
Nixon Timu comes out of the game, so it'll be back up to Rainey, McMullen, and Krebs up front. Under 3 minutes to play. Clock continues to move. 2nd down and 10. Handoff. Harper. Ooh, nice move by Harper, but then he is met.
28, Tyler Peterson. On the stop for number 28, Camden Webb Tate.
Tyler Peterson got the handoff there.
Gain of 3, 3rd and 7.
Good blocks by Southeast or Sioux City East out there. They get the seal blocks because the running back is finding room out there to run.
Black Raiders looking to throw the football here. They throw it downfield. Oh, he's got, oh man. Again, Jones. Jones has gotten behind that defense more times than not, Tim.
I would be surprised to find out that he's a sprinter on the track team because he has gone out there. If you don't get a chuck on him, if you don't get a hand on him, if he's breaking free, he's finding a simple one move and he's going down the middle. And he's been open between the hash marks several times now tonight. But fortunately, a great rush. They blitzed on that play. Quarterback threw it up a little sooner than he wanted to. Didn't get his feet underneath him. Incomplete pass.
Dowling is now in the punt. Dowling now leads 64-0 at Sioux City North. Jordan Cum, the return, and spins it around. So looks like we're going to see the ones for another drive here as Jace Bauer gets ready to go onto the field. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Nate Goner.
So I was looking at the roster for Sioux City East and was caught off guard that their quarterback, quote-unquote, Cage Kellen, is actually listed as a running back. He actually looks more like a running back, but that might be some of the reason for the overthrows, guys. He's not really used to the position. I don't know how many snaps or throws he had coming into this game, but, that may be a reason for some of these overthrows.
Well, he made that switch. Casey, I'll finish that story in a minute. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a good 8-yard gain for the Hawks.
Number 32, Colin Cadolf.
Cadolf gets the handle. I was asking Coach Webb, I said, so, has Kellen been your quarterback all year? He says, no. Casey Blake started. I said, oh, was that until he got called up to the majors? And Webb didn't even bite. Casey Blake, a former Los Angeles Dodger, Cleveland Indian, Indianola native, and Coach Webb missed that one, and that is the end of the third quarter. Ankeny leads 42-7. Quarter 4 when we come back.
42.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Ankeny in control, 42-7. Paul Yeager, Tim Halber, Nate Goner with you here on the air. Kickoff gets the handoff off tackle, cuts it back up towards the middle. He gets a first down.
Ball carrier number 32, Colin Canal.
And Kate Summers comes
by
on.
Tajon Jones.
Also in there now, Carson Hilsenbeck.
Ball placed 47.
Clock will move here this whole fourth quarter, Tim.
First down.
I think you want to see some of these senior receivers in there.
25 seniors introduced before the game tonight. Play action. They go Hilsenbeck with the grab. He's at the 40, down to the 35 before tackled out of bounds. Colby Harrington pushed him out.
52, Colby Harrington.
Senior tight end, so nice little catch and run there. Most of the yards came up on his run. He caught along the line of scrimmage. But utilized quite a bit as a blocking back, fullback, tight end tonight. Nice to see him catch the ball.
Riley Faith into the game at running back. He is a guy who came out mid-season and been getting some touches here late in the year. He gets it now. Faith, left side, ducks out. Breaks out of one tackle before Harrington corrals him. Gain of 4.
52, Colby Harrington. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Nice pickup there. Ethan Norgard coming in as receiver, number 19. Along with Downer, both wideouts on the left side, seniors.
Faith through the line, across the 25, and gets the first down. So now new players coming in. See Tyler Campbell. I think that was Justice Miller who I saw. Coming off is Cade Thompson.
Belding comes off. Good blocking by those guys. They've done it all year long. So a nice job getting some reserve linemen in there. Keeping Bauer in for the offense.
Faith just keeps the legs moving. He gets near the 22, gain of 2. Let's see, coming in now is Caden Brown, a junior.
Colin Riggs is coming in at quarterback. Bauer getting a hand coming off. A great game.
Let's see, what do you think? Logan Brown, 54. What trying to think of who that was that just walked off. Is that Logan? No, that's Jackson Pennygroth, who has been back from an injury. Faith is corralled.
23 on the carry.
Blake Hogenkamp makes the stop.
Number 22 on the stop. No gain on the play, 3rd and 9.
Of course, Coach Nelson's yelling at his offensive line because they should all be starters. They shouldn't have any drop off, no matter who's in the game.
What's that roster, Noah? There it is, 61. Not even on this one. They go throw towards the end zone, wide open. In the back is caught, Cade Summers. However, we have a penalty flag.
How can that be?
Preliminary indication, false start, Ankeny, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Riggs is trying to, false start on the Ankeny Hawks. That'll go back. Clock will keep moving, though. Ball comes back out to about the 27.
To Kid Summer goes, I went up, I caught it, I got hit in the end zone for a touchdown, you're going to call it back. Third and long. Maybe see Hilsenbeck across the middle.
Riggs tucks it, makes a move. It's going to be short. He got back to make it fourth and manageable. Okay, not really. Fourth and long. Fourth and 8. Dylan Harper, the tackle. Now they're bringing the field goal team, and the problem is when you're on the field goal team and you've been taken out of the game, you're a little rusty. That's always kind of one of those hard things. Jack Krebs comes back out. I think Krebs is a guy we maybe have to talk to. Big number 77, Tim. Got to get one of those senior linemen. And we talked to Kickoff. I think we got to talk to Jet.
Yeah, Jet we have to get in there.
We got to get Jet and Krebs. So 2 and 77, Nate. The field goal of 39 yards is going to hit the bar and go in.
He called it.
Max Pelham. 39-yarder is good. Hawks in control here at Ankeny Stadium.
It takes more than a great price and great selection to continue to grow every year. We believe the reason is our core values. Hard work, we work hard for you. Integrity, it's not optional, it's required. We build trusting relationships and don't run when the problems arise. We're always improving the customer experience. It's been the Schottenkirk way for over 50 years. Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Waukee, and the all-new Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Now back number 3.
The faithful remain. Glad to have you here. Ankeny 45, Sioux City East 7. 39-yard field goal, Max Pelham. Ends the drive. Hawks have scored 14 points in each of the first 3 quarters. They get 3 here. Clock moving at 6:32. Going to be taken at the 14 by Wagner. And he's up near the 30.
Taken by number 3, Gabe Wagner.
Nate Goner's on the sideline. Mo Watson, the tackle. Nate Goner's down on our sideline. Let's check in with him.
Guys, I tell you, competition in the game of football just makes you better, and I can't imagine the practices that the Ankeny Hawks have at the quarterback position, because I really feel Colin Riggs is as talented of a thrower as Jace Bauer. I mean, that touchdown pass that was taken off the board is a shame. You know, the wealth of talent here in Ankeny, the Hawks should be very blessed by that, and I'll let you guys get back to it.
Throw towards Wagner is incomplete as Cage Kellen, the senior, let it fly.
Pass intended for number 3, Gabe Wagner goes
Boyd on the coverage there. We're probably going to see, being that's a running clock, I could see more passing going on.
As we're approaching 5 minutes left in this contest. The moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and the faithful supporters here. We got still some of the student body is still in the stands.
As we got Colbin Blass in there playing a corner position on the left side.
Handoff right side for Sioux City East. And the whistles blow like it could have been a fumble.
They called him down.
And that handoff was to, I think that was Brayfogle. No,
Gain
take that
of
back.
3, 3rd and 7.
That was Kyler Peterson. Brayfogle was there. I think he might have been the one that covered it up. Kellen corrals, setting up the screen, runs, and gets out of bounds. Pushed out there is Colvin Blass.
By number 21, Cage Kellen. Ran out of bounds by number 4, Colvin Blass.
That'll be 4th down, and the Black Raiders will probably punt it for the last time tonight.
4th down into punt number 11.
You just kind of wonder. You get that touchdown right before half. Now, granted, Ankeny didn't score, Tim, but they kept it from being a 2-score game.
Back number 12, Brady McCullough.
Good punt.
Bounces in front of McCullough. He's going to pick it up back at the 20. And then he's going to be stood up and brought down. No return.
Number 12, Brady McCullough.
And one of the guys last off the pile is Bennett Vanderloo. All right, Nate Goner, this one is, we only bring you for the blowouts, right? Is that, you want a good game sometime here, don't you?
Well, I mean, I don't mind. This has been a really nice performance for Ankeny, you know, a lot of smiles. And one thing I will say, you know, this score is 45-7. I still saw kids with coaches looking at film on the iPad. They are not satisfied with this, guys, and that's encouraging to see for a team that has a lot of potential to be good, not only in the playoffs, but for a year or two to come.
Thank you, Nate. That's going to be the big question. Depends on draws here. Handoff, Faith. Faith gets into the secondary, and if he can sprint through everybody, he's got a chance. He's across midfield, turns on the brakes, flag comes in, all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Penalty on the play, ball carried by number 23.
That flag went in the air.
It was a good throw. I think there was assisting the runner. Or pushing. Or sideline violation. Looks like.
Oh. The Hawks wanted to all be a part of that play.
It goes a warning.
Sideline
First
warning. Those officials are trying to run down the field, and they don't want to run on the field if that's where the play is.
That's a Hawk, first down.
So the Hawks get up to the 35-yard line on a 46-yard pickup by Faith. 90 seconds left. Riggs. Faith. Up to the 30.
Faith has picked up some good yards. He's got some speed. When he broke that.
Number 23, Riley Faith on the carry.
I think is Faith another one of those sophomore running backs?
Well, I'm looking right now because I knew you were going to say that. Faith is a senior. Wanting to come out with his friends. And that's, you know, we talked about at a halftime interview about recruiting, and that's what football's got to do. They've got to get those 8th graders or the 9th graders to get those guys who've been out for a couple of years. There's strength in numbers. It's a fun game when you're all together. Faith is popped. Good stop. Caleb Winter ended that one right there.
Some games are keeping an eye. Waukee Johnson. Waukee is leading 27-17 in the 4th. Also in the 4th, Fort Dodge leading Marshalltown 14-10. Fort Dodge is one of those teams on the bubble, a win and they're in. Johnson sitting at number 17 would need to upset Waukee.
Riggs will back up, take a knee, and that'll be the last offensive play. The Hawks are going to roll 45-7 tonight.
Sioux City East Black Raiders 7. Ankeny Hawks 45. Thank you once again for supporting the Ankeny Hawks.
So the Ankeny Hawks will finish second in the district. In district number 1 to Dowling Catholic, and the Maroons were rolling at last check, and I'm sure their game is just about to end. 45-7 is our final. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll talk to a couple of seniors here on senior night from Ankeny Stadium.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
High quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
Ankeny Hawks roll tonight, 45-7, 523 yards of total offense, 241 on the ground, 282 rush. And the Hawks had to take a quick picture, so that's going to kind of slow things down just a little bit. They're going to have a quick meeting, huddle around Coach Nelson. No need to get any players in trouble like we did last time. And final, the Maroons, 77. Over Sioux City North. And here it was 45-7. Tim, you want to look at some of those statistics here?
I'll go to the defense because you got to like the defense. Kellen came in there as a running quarterback. He had 7 carries for 25 yards. He was 6 out of 16 passing. For a total of 128 yards. Missed a couple deep open routes for a total of 226 yards. One big drive that ended on a fumble, but basically they kept him out of the end zone most of the game. For Ankeny, 241 yards passing, 282 yards rushing. That's a great balance. 523 yards. 523 yards of total offense is that's a great way to come in the playoffs. They're hitting on all cylinders. Got a lot of different players. We had 4 different players catching pass receptions. Boyd comes in. Kickoff had 5 rushing touchdowns, 21 carries, 124 yards. A great game by him. Fifth come in late, 7 carries for 64 yards.
And he just about went for another 40 yards.
Yep.
He was one little move away from scoring.
Yep. So nice Brewster, nice play by the senior there to see him come in. It's nice having a second running back in case something happens with Godolph, if he's needs to take a breather, you have another running back going in. So all in all, great balance, offense, defense, got a couple turnovers, good effort going into the second season.
Ankeny will be in the playoffs. It's just now a matter of where. One of the guys who helped get him there tonight is with our Nate Goner down on the sidelines. Ankeny wins tonight. They got 1 INT and a fumble, and the guy who got the pick is with Nate.
It was actually his first of the season. Jetiah Tua joining us here on Senior Night. 45-7 is the victory, young man. Congratulations. What is this night and I guess your football career here at Ankeny meant to you?
This night means a lot. All the seniors put in 100% every day, and now we're on the playoffs.
Can you talk to me about that interception? I just felt like you came out of nowhere, and that pick really kind of put the nail in things tonight.
Yeah, I saw the quarterback point to the receiver, so I just kind of like jumped up and caught it, and it was a pretty good play, I thought.
It seems as though your season kind of took a turn after that Dowling Catholic loss. Can you talk to me about what you learned from that game against the Maroons and how it has helped you propel to this 4-game win streak?
Yeah, we faced Dowling Maroons, and they were pretty good, so we learned from our mistakes and like how to read, write, and stuff like that.
What makes you feel like you guys can be kind of a menace coming up here in the postseason?
I think we got one of the best defenses in the state, and our wide receivers are some of the best too.
Jet Tayatu joining us here on post-game coverage. Young man, congratulations, and thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Jacob Bear, another senior, joining us here, Paul. And Jacob, congratulations. Senior night. Tell me about the whole entire thing, the lead up to it and the victory.
Yeah, well, I play the O-line, and we got a whole offensive line of seniors and big build-up. We all knew we could do the job. Well,
absolutely, and I got to give you guys a lot of credit. Everybody's going to, put the focus on Kickoff, your running back, who is good, and Bauer, who is very good as well. But you guys up front, really kind of set the tone. Can you talk about the continuity and chemistry you have up on the O-line?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've known all these guys since 3rd, 4th grade. I mean, like you said, Kickoff and Jace they make look good.
This win, can you talk to me about what you guys have done differently since that week against the Maroons?
Well, I just think we got to dial it in. We've really realized that we were a good team because only teams we lost to so far are some of the best teams in the state. And we're like, well, we're competing with them, and we just got to make sure we practice hard and do our assignments and kind of just change how hard we're working.
For you, what do you think is key for you guys to have success, continue into the playoffs?
I just think we got to keep doing what we're doing. Every day I feel like we're getting better, especially on the offensive line, defensive line. We're hitting each other. We're working our tails off, to say the least.
Big-time offense. It's because of the big guys up front. Jacob Bear is one of those. He joins us on our post-game coverage. Young man, congratulations and good luck in the playoffs.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nate Gonner, down on the sideline. Great work tonight, and appreciate it. And now there's a little bit of fun down on the sidelines. A lot of parents and relatives are kind of wondering, where is Jacob? Oh, he was a big deal being on the Webb. So thank him and all those players all throughout the year. It's a special time. It was the very first question we talked about with Tim with Coach earlier was you only get 9 of these, and tonight was number 9.
Yes, it goes by very fast. It just seems like a couple weeks ago that we were out here, the opening kickoff between Centennial and Ankeny Hawks. Like, wow, this is the beginning of the season. It's the end of August, and here we are at the end of October. Weather being a perfect weather night for football. Seeing some good games, and Ankeny has proven themselves well, ended up at 6-3 overall, getting in. They're going to probably crack from being ranked 10, probably 9 or even an 8 in the final RPI.
Speaking of the RPI, let's take a look at some of these. This was going into tonight. Valley, Cedar Falls, Centennial, Dowling, Kennedy, Polk, Prairie, Roosevelt were your top 8. Roosevelt was losing at last check. Cedar Falls was up by 7 on Prairie, so that would kind of keep that. So likely Prairie and Roosevelt would fall. Linn-Mar, Ankeny move up. So there is a chance Ankeny could get a top 8 seed. It's possible. It just kind of depends. Those playoff pairings will come out later tonight, if not early in the morning. And what we have for playoff coverage here on CISN.TV, keep a look at our Facebook page, on our website, and our Twitter. We'll let you know if it's an audio game or if we are going to have video of either the Jaguars or the Hawks. So we'll keep you updated on that. But for the entire crew here at CISN, Tim, if we don't get to do another one, it's been fun.
It's been great. It's always fun. This is a great place to be.
All right. Appreciate it. And then the guys running cameras between Devin and Reese, and they came it up. And Jeff Martin's on our stats all year long. 523 total yards of offense for the Hawks, 226 for Southeast. I did the same thing. Sioux City East. I put it all together. But it's a win regardless for the Hawks tonight. Final score 45-7 for Noah Yeager, Tim Halber, Nate Gonner, and Jeff Brooks for his work all throughout the season. Thank you so very much. Hawks win. Second season begins a week from tonight. We'll talk to you next time.